Hello, everybody. My name is Mike, also known as Win 5 Get 1 Free, and you have caught us today in our interim game on Thursdays until we're back in Project Severovo. I know it's probably scary and disturbing. You don't like change. I don't like change. And you know what? Project Severovo's wacky enough that taking hiatus legitimately could be a plot point at some point, and it could just be me jumping the shark again. And you'll never fucking know. But today, we are actually and factually playing a game called Fast Cars and Clear Gems based on the leverage system. Now, fair warning to the audience. If you are watching this and you are a master of the leverage system, I'm sorry. This is not going to be super professional session 1. We're here to make characters, we're here to have fun, we're here to do Heist 1, and then we will probably be a lot more prepared next week. But that is not to say we are not putting out a quality product this week. That is just saying that Papa Mikey didn't necessarily read all of the book because he got a lot more and less work and a lot of stress, including gray water flooding his kitchen when he wasn't expecting it. So, shit happens. But I digress. So, the purpose of this game and this campaign is to run some heists and look cool doing it. I love heists. I love playing heists. I love running heists, heist movies, crime movies. I have 5,000 hours in Payday 2, like 600 hours in Payday 1, and whenever they come out with Payday 3, I'm gonna have a million fucking billion hours in that too. Heists are cool. Heists are rad as fuck. Yeah, don't worry, we are not taking your money. The U.S. federal government has insured your money. The only person we're hurting is the banks and the government.
But as we found out in Wednesdays, safety deposit boxes are not federally insured.
No,
that's
they're
gone
not.
forever. Sorry.
Oh yeah. But all of your characters happen to be working on this same job. And we'll figure out why and how you got on this team first. But before the why, the how, the when, the where, or even the what, we need the who. So we don't get fooled again. So, what we're going to do right now is some basic kind of character gen stuff and talk about dynamics. Now, in Leverage, there are 5 classes, and classes, that's a loose way to put it. It's more of their 5 roles, is what they're called. You have grifters, hitters, hackers, masterminds, and thieves. Everybody gets to have 2 of these as your top skills, right? One of them is slightly better than the other. So the first thing that we should probably do is define what each of them is. So, a grifter is your typical con man, person who can talk circles around another person and get what they want with their words, the person who fits in anywhere just because they want to. The hacker is a hacker, gifted in all things technology and generally quite excellent at making gadgets and breaking through electronic locks. Hitters hit things. Often they are smarter than they look, or else they do not make very successful hitters in the long run. But yeah, hitters are your muscle. Masterminds, and I will require one person to take their D12 in Mastermind. We have to have one Mastermind.
I got that.
Okay, sounds good. Masterminds are the guys in the crew who make sure everything go by smoothly. They're the kind of person who has thought of every contingency, knows how to help everyone work together, and generally can take either a front seat or back seat role, but know for a fact that they're going to play a role in this crew, right? And they're going to play a substantial one. And then there are thieves. Thieves are your archetypical robbers. People who sneak in the night, grab your shit, sneak out. You never saw them. They know how to bust any lock. They've been in and out of prisons all the time. Unless they're so damn good, they always slip through the cops. And in general, they're going to be your classic, sneaky boys. So You get a primary and a secondary. That's a D10, or that's a D12 for your primary and a D10 for your secondary. And I'll explain what those do once we kind of go down the line. But let's just get gut feeling. Let's start with Gunner. What is your character's primary going to be?
Primary, I'm thinking hitter.
Okay. And what are you thinking for your secondary?
Grifter.
Grifter. Okay. Nice. I like that. Okay. Scott, what are you thinking for your primary?
I don't know. I was going between hacker and thief, and I didn't know. I figured thief for the sneak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go with that one as primary.
Thief is primary and then hacker is secondary?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then Jesta, I can imagine you're going mastermind is primary. What are you thinking for your secondary?
Right. So you did, Scott, you did what for your primary and secondary?
Thief and hacker.
You went thief hacker, and then Gunner, you went hitter grifter.
Yes.
Hmm.
And keep in mind, overlap is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I'm just trying to decide which would be.
Mhm.
Personally, I think you should go with the mastermind and grifter, because then you can communicate like real well of planned prospects or whatever. Figure out how to explain that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would have that communication paralysis of, all right, this is how this is going to go, and blah 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 whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Jesta, have you thoroughly checked your chart?
Check.
How the fuck did my shit? Okay, so I did. Did that just bump something or what the fuck even? So obviously I'm gonna go mastermind on
Mhm.
the front end, and I was thinking either grifter or thief anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're, and so I'll probably just go mastermind grifter,
Okay.
just simply because it does seem like I was already thinking in that direction anyway.
Nice.
You know.
I was going to say, so the primary is a D10, the secondary is a D8. What are the rest?
Oh yeah, D10 and D8, not D12 and D10. Okay. So the rest of them.
It won't actually let you select the D12 on the character sheet anyways?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, it won't. Okay, so it's a D10. It's what now?
It's a D10 and a D8 as opposed to a D12 and a D10. So here's where I'll explain this. So
oops, how did I
this
do
system,
that?
you just click the when you hover over where it shows that, it'll bring up that little dice pool, and you click whichever die you actually want.
Okay.
So basically, how this works is die that you have. Whenever you roll for a skill, you're rolling off against me, and you're trying to get a higher score than me. So obviously, bigger dice are better, right? If you roll the top end of your die, you get a benefit in the form of an asset, or I forget what the official terminology is, but basically like a partial narrative control, right? If you roll a 1 on any of your die, you get a you take, okay, so it's an opportunity for the highest. If you roll a 1, you get a complication, right? And they're fairly self-explanatory. So the higher the die, the better your overall score is when you're rolling off against me. But the less likely it is you're going to get a complication or a opportunity. So the way the system describes it is on the skills you are very good at, put your high die. At the skills you find very interesting, put your low die. So a D4, you might get an opportunity. It might not add to your dice pool overall, because you're only taking the top 2 numbers that you roll. But even if you roll, like, say, a 6 and an 8, and you also rolled a 4, right, on a D4, that D4's 4 is still going to count as an opportunity, even though it doesn't count as one of your top 2 numbers you rolled, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Okay, so basically, what you're saying is if you roll the lowest you can roll on the dice you're rolling, it's a complication.
Correct.
If you roll the highest you can roll on the dice you're rolling,
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
Yes.
And then beyond that, you were saying you were talking about some
So
wrinkle in that, and I kind of got lost.
right. So basically, the whole goal is you get a certain amount of dice for what you're doing, right?
Right.
So you get a die from your main stat, you get a die from your roll. So, say for instance, I want to bust open this electronic lock. Well, you're probably going to be rolling intelligence and hacker. Then you also get benefits based on the circumstance. You can use a plot point, another die, which we'll talk about plot points later. Or if your circumstance, say you're on a tight schedule, my dice pool will grow by a die because you have something stacked against you, right?
Okay.
Things like that. And the whole goal is to build up enough dice that are going to be substantial. You roll all those dice, and then the top 2 numbers you roll. So the top 2 die faces you roll, you add those together, and that's your final result. And then you just compare that to my top 2.
Okay.
So that's the basic mechanic of this game. And it kind of does this spiral where if we roll off and we're close, I can raise the stakes or you can raise the stakes, and then we do another roll off with more dice, and it becomes a whole big thing. And we'll get to explore that kind of in real time, because explaining raising the stakes, that mechanic, I don't think I can explain it. I think I kind of just have to show it to you. But it's a lot of fun. It looks like, at least. I still haven't used it, obviously, but it looks like a lot of fun. So
long
go
story.
ahead.
Long story short, 1d10 for your main, 1d8 for your second, then 2d6, and then 1d4.
Correct. Let me see here. But for those, the 2d6 and 1d4, don't place those yet. Those are actually going to come up in our first heist.
Okay.
Well, because
that might be easier said than done, because it won't let me remove them. Ooh.
That's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have one on Thief because I was scrolled down farther than I thought I was.
Yeah. So the next thing, here are some things while we're doing these other things that you're going to want to think about. What is your character's background? Because basically, and this is like a completely flexible thing, this is a narrative device more than anything. So, like, where'd your character come from? What do they do? You are a thief of some distinction. We'd call you a diamond in the rough, right? You're solid enough to rely on easy jobs, and you've got enough spunk that you can probably quick think your way out of a hard job, right? That's why you've been picked up for this. So the other thing I want you to think about in the background, a movie character's name. That is, we don't use real names in crime. We use code names because this is a clandestine affair. This isn't just hitting your mom and pops for a couple $100 out of the till. You've been hired by someone who's pretty serious. And we'll talk about how you got in contact with them and how you got hired once we start getting into the heist itself. But you needed to pick a movie character's name for your designation, essentially. So keep that in mind. Oh, go ahead.
Con.
Con, hell yeah.
Con!
I love it. I love it.
Just cause.
Mm-hmm.
I've already mentioned this, but Joker.
All right. Next thing's next. We are assigning your attributes. Now, these ones you do get to assign all at the beginning. Let me scroll down to this section. So your attributes are interesting. I definitely want to explain them each, but while we're talking about it, first, we have two types of ways you can distribute. You can either distribute focused, which is 2 dice at d10, 1 at d8, and 1 at d6. Oh no, sorry, it's 2 dice at d10, d8, and d6, right? Or you can do versatile, which is 1 d10, 4 d8, and 1 d6. So I'll copy those real quick into the chat so I don't have to repeat them a million times. So that's option 1. That's versatile. That's if you want to be kind of a jack of all trades. And option 2, if you would like to be much more specialized, you would do this option. So while you're assigning those, I'll go over each of them and what they mean, because there's actually kind of a clever thing that they do here. So the first thing you might notice is there is no charisma skill. That is intentional, because each of your stats functions as a form of charisma as well as a form of your physicality. So agility is, of course, your ability to do dexterity work, your ability to do like flips and shit and rolls, and just how apt you are with your physical body. It also happens to be how good you are at giving people the runaround, fast talking them, throwing a whole bunch of shit at them so that they just get confused, right? Alertness is not just how you can spot all of those cameras. You can hear that conversation about the shift change with the guards. It's also noticing the small, almost imperceptible bits of body language and influxes and tones in your Mark's voice, right? So it's your sense motive as well as your perception, essentially. Intelligence is pretty self-explanatory. It's how good you is with things that require intelligent work. Hey, man, you got to figure out this puzzle of a lock on the front of this door. Well, I guess you got to think your way through it. But also, you're in the middle of a conversation with an astrophysicist and you're desperately trying to pretend you know what the fuck he's talking about. Probably going to be wanting to roll intelligence there. Strength. Can you lift a car? Can you lift a truck? Can you punch a bank vault open? Also, how scary as fuck are you when you're talking to people? Because, yeah, if you're very strong in personality, you are very easily going to manipulate people just by raising your fist and going, why I oughta. Vitality, can you eat a rotten tomato? But on top of that, vitality is also kind of your ability to stall people in conversation and to keep conversations going. So say, for instance, you're talking the maitre d' up while someone is going into the kitchen to poison a soup, you know, and you want to make sure that like the maitre d' doesn't know what's going on. You got to keep using your vitality to keep them going. And willpower is kind of a special one in a way. Willpower is your resolve. This is how well you can stand up to challenges that aren't necessarily physical, but are exhausting. You have to stay up all night and you have to watch the stakeout. And you know what? You just ran out of energy drinks and you're crashing hard. You know, you have to stare at this monitor for hours on end. Your eyes are tired, but you got to do it, you know. Or you're listening to the most annoying rich dude in the world, trying to ply out just the smallest amount of information from him. But God, does he not shut the fuck up about his polo team, right? That's your willpower. So if you want to establish your stats in those, we will get that going. Let's see here.
That'll be a done for me, sir.
Hey. Let's see. And there we
I
go.
decided to go for the focused.
Nice.
6 agility, 10 alert, 8 intelligence, 10 strength, 6 vitality, and 8 willpower.
Nice. I like it.
I went a little more jack of all trades. I
Nice.
took my 10 in intelligence and my 6 in strength. Everything else at an 8 because I kind of
Yeah.
figured like the way you're describing like the ability to talk around and using these different stats and skills.
Mhm.
I feel like my character as sort of a mastermind grifter would actually kind of need to be good at most of that.
Right. Exactly. Scott, have you got your skills out or your attributes out?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because
Awesome.
I need agility at the top, and then alertness, and then willpower. Those are my top 3. I don't think I need strength this month, so I'm probably going to put that at the bottom at the 6.
Right. Okay.
Or, yeah.
And I'll let you know, you guys have met one member of this crew. He is involved in your backstory, essentially, of how you got onto this job. He's kind of been your contact, and he said he was going to be at this job with you. And he's definitely muscle. Like, you can definitely tell he like knows how to hit things hard, and he seems a
he's
little
like me.
scary. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a hitter with 10 strength, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so next things next. I think we do distinctions. Let me take a look. Yes, distinctions. So you only get one distinction right now, but distinctions are real fun. A distinction is a loose phrase or idea of basically what makes your character you, right? Are you fast as fuck? Do you happen to be a loudmouth? Are you a drunk? Like those kind of things. They're dice pools that are circumstantial that you add to things. They are a D8 for helping you and a D4 for complicating, but you also get a plot point. And we'll talk about plot points after we do distinctions. So you get one distinction right now out of your 3 total distinctions.
I got it.
Yes. And I'm actually going to have everyone tell me their distinction and kind of explain how they got to it. And I will start actually with the guy that you have met, which you only know him as Bickle. Bickle, you got this vibe from him immediately. Quiet. Too quiet. He is a man of few words, and the ones that he does say are very impactful. And an example of how that would work, say for instance you're in a hostage situation. You got cops outside. A hostage is freaking out. Bickle looks and starts to stand up. Bickle looks at him with the shotgun and says, "Sit. Now." He's probably going to get a benefit from quiet to quiet. Because that is not very loquacious, but very effective.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody got a strong idea right off the top?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Well, person's name is Joker. His distinction is borderline psycho. You can see the madness sitting just below the surface. And
Like
so
that.
every time there's a situation, I mean, especially since you'll be probably using him for crowd control. What? You don't think I'll do it? You really don't think I'd just give you a smile? Nah, probably
Yeah.
not that on the nose, but he's called Joker for a reason.
Right. He's the kind of guy who idolizes the Joker, and that's why he chose Joker as his name.
I think more along the lines he was given the name. People call me what I want, people call me what they want, but let's just say I'm a fan.
Okay. Nice, nice. Jesta or Scott, do you have any at the moment?
I got it, but I want to give Scott a chance to go first if he wants to.
The problem I'm coming across is I'm almost wanting to steal one from my knight character in Hinge Dimension.
I mean, I've no problem with it if it fits.
You know, because it's like I want to go with the whole concept of, you know, the whole thieving and breaking in and, you know, hey, look, that's mine.
Yeah.
Concept that is knight.
Is
That's-
that? Can we just? Is that just the distinction right there? Hey, look, that's mine.
I do kind of like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, look. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Nice. Jesta?
So Khan always comes off like he's at least 2 moves ahead of everyone.
Okay.
And I feel like I feel like that could come into play in sort of making people second guess themselves because
Yeah.
they don't because they feel like maybe he already knows what they're going to say or knows they're lying. He may
Mhm.
not actually know, but he looks like he's 2 moves ahead. He just has that air about him that you're like you're not going to get as much past him because you actually don't believe you're going to get as much past him. You know, he's sharp, but you'll get even less past because you don't believe you even have a chance of doing so.
Sure.
It just kind of comes off like he's the guy that's like you can always see the wheels are turning, but you just don't know what direction they're turning and what he actually does or doesn't know. So,
I like that. Now, we get talents. Talents are another fun one. Talents are basically, let's see. Well, actually, let's do skills and then let's do talents. Let me see here. So, skills are things that you're good at that aren't necessarily crime intent or like crime necessary, but can be crime adjacent. So
where is the skills on this?
there is no list of skills. So you see how under your roles there is a button that says add?
Yeah. I was
That
wondering
is
about that.
yeah, that is where you put your skills essentially. So you get 2 skills to start out with. You can gain more skills as you go, but skills just add a, I believe, D6. Yes, they add a D6
Mm-hmm.
Is it under the roles or attributes?
under roles. Attributes has talents underneath it, which we'll get to that after I explain other stuff.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, so pick out 2 skills, and that can be anything from like underwater basket weaving to demolitions expert to, you know, like, I don't know, shooting, yeah, punching, you know, pretty much anything that can count as a skill. The book, for some reason, and I think it's because the TV show Leverage used this a lot, but they give the example of cooking and stage magic a lot. So those are 2 examples. Yeah,
I've never actually seen the TV show, so
nor have I. And reading this PDF, all the goody two shoes shit about, oh, you're doing this for altruistic reasons, we're dropping that for this.
okay.
Yeah, no, we're not goody two shoes. The only reason you don't want to leave a body is because cops check crimes that have bodies way more. Like that's the big thing. You know what I mean?
I'd rather give them a bloody nose than yeah.
Exactly. Because like real criminals in the real world operate like that. Like it's bad news to kill someone unless that's your entire goal. The classic line is break one law at a time, you know?
Exactly. Don't just break every law you can all at once unless you're either that good or that ready to go to prison, that ready to die, or some other extreme circumstance.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. How many of these skills do we have?
2.
All right, first one.
So
Krav Maga Savant.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to hurt you I know how to hurt you in the most direct way possible in the least amount of time possible.
So I'm gonna take chess.
Chess, that's very clever. I like
I
that.
like that. Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting that under mastermind because it seems like that's where that's gonna go.
That sounds about right.
And I kind of want to put poker under grifter.
I like that. That's really good, actually. And remember, these skills that you're putting, they're not just for your benefit, they're for my benefit as well. So if
Right.
you have skills that you're like, oh yeah, like I would love to explore this, or like have a scene that involves this with this character, I'll try my best to kind of fit it in, you know? Like no guarantees it'll happen in the way you expect, but I'll definitely try and fit it in.
Well, I figure poker and chess are both fairly easy to fit into something like this
Mhm.
as a heist sort of thing, you know,
Oh, yeah.
in the background. Maybe not during the on the job necessarily, but in the background kind of stuff,
Yeah. And the way
like in the
for-
setup or what have you.
exactly, and for everybody's sake, including the audience, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to try desperately to stick to this. We're going to do one session as background and heist planning, and then the next session as the heist, and then another as background and heist planning, and the next session the heist, that sort of thing. I'm going to try and alternate those because this game is set up to where you can feasibly do that, and I'm going to try and be efficient with it.
All right.
Let's see here.
All right. Let's see here. Now, while you guys are picking out skills, I'm going to explain probably my favorite mechanic of this game. That is plot points. Plot points are kind of like the way I treat model caps. Plot points are your plot gimmies. You get plot points for failing. You get plot points for intentionally failing. You get plot points for intentionally doing bad things. Plot points are fucking awesome.
This is gonna go so awry. I can see it
yeah.
now.
Yeah. So
yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So a plot point, you get one plot point at the beginning of every heist, just for being a part of the heist. You've got a little bit of motive force. And that's
Alright.
really how I would describe plot points, is their motive force for the player, right? Because this is a very collaborative game. You also get plot points for using your distinctions in a bad way. So for instance, like I said with Bickle, he gets a D8 for too quiet when he's trying to shut up the hostages and keep them in line. But also, he's in the briefing and he's not really helping anybody. And someone goes, okay, Bickle, what do you think about this? Do you want option A or option B? He shrugs. He gains a plot point for rolling a D4. Yeah. So plot points are kind of really they're really, let me pull it up because I've been scrolling around trying to find it while I'm explaining these, and I can only waffle for so long. I want to give you guys the exact information so you know exactly how to use them. Let's see here. Plot points. There we go. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Plot points. Plot points are a game currency that you spend to affect the plot over the job. Plot points give you more dice, make the dice you have more powerful, and let you use some of your special talents. So, plot points are used for... plot points can give you an extra die at a... Let's see. Let me see. After any roll, you may spend a plot point to include more dice out of those you just rolled in your result. In this way, your result may be 3, 4, or 5 dice added together. So say, for instance, you're rolling 4 dice. You're like picking a lock. You have lockpick as a skill. You're using intelligence. You're using thief. And also you have lockpicking gear as an asset. So you got 4 dice. You rolled kind of shit on all of them. You rolled like straight 3s across the board. The DC is 9. You can include another one of those dice by spending a plot point. you now hit the DC. You have succeeded. Plot points can activate talents. We'll get to talents in a second, but basically imagine those as your feats, but they're conditional. So with talents, they're written out in the book, and I'll give you the page whenever we get to them. But for instance, a conditional for a talent may be when you are surrounded by X amount of guys, you can spend a plot point to treat them as one enemy, right? Like that would be an example of a talent, right? And using a plot point for a talent. You can also use plot points as an automatic top of your die, essentially. So say for instance, you just get a 12 or a 10 on your D10 roll because you've spent a plot point. And you can use plot points to create new assets. So assets are things that will get you dice. So that would be like something you bring onto the job, like a length of pipe, or the door happens to be unlocked, or you can create a new extra. So like you're robbing the place and you find that there is a janitor there. And like maybe the janitor is useful because he has keys on it. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
I've got a question, Mike.
Go for it.
When it comes to a skill.
Yeah.
Okay, say my character watches a lot of Jeopardy. How would I translate that?
Trivia knowledge.
Trivia knowledge, thank you.
Put it on Mastermind or Hacker.
Grifter, maybe?
Yeah, I could count Grifter, maybe. I'd say that Grifter would be something more like game show charisma. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. This character has none of that. We've been over this already.
But yeah, back to assets. If you spend 2 plot points, you can create a permanent asset. That'd be something that you bring to every job or is always there. Say, for instance, you have a mentor figure who always has good advice, or always has an inside lean, or you own an office, or you just have a really nice revolver. Those are all examples of permanent assets. So, has everyone gotten their skills done?
I figured out what I wanted, yes.
Yes.
I've got what I got.
Okay.
I've got
Scott?
Go ahead.
Yes, I don't know.
What do you have for your skills?
I don't know. I was doing hide and computers. I don't know. That's all I can think of.
No, those are perfectly fine skills. You know how to use computers and you know how to hide. Those will add some really good circumstantial dice.
So I want to see you try and fit this in there somewhere, Mike. The second one I chose?
Yeah.
Game show host.
Game show host. All right.
Under Grifter.
Oh yeah. I think as long as you work with me, then we definitely could find an easy way to get that set up. Okay. So, forgot one other thing for plot points. This is going to be especially useful for Jesta. Spending a plot point can trigger a flashback. Triggering a flashback allows you to set up a circumstance for the current heist. Basically, oh no, we thought of that.
Oh, brilliant.
That's
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. So, let's see here. Next thing's next. Let's go to talents. So, talents. What are they? You got them. You got 2 talents, actually. One of your talents has to be from your main role, right? The other talent can be from anything. Talents are listed. Oops, I just passed it. Talents are listed on page. They start on page 36. Starts with Grifter talents. So if your primary is Grifter, which no one's is, you would need to take one of these talents in here to begin with. But it looks like But you can take any of these talents as long as one of them is from your main trait or your main role. There's a lot of them. I would just like the flavor text and a brief read of the effect is really all you need because they're all pretty straightforward. Talents are kind of like if then this sort of thing. You know, they're very straightforward situations. Usually they involve trading a plot point to do a thing, or a very specific thing happens and your character can take advantage of that.
Well, clearly I'm going to take Master Plan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no reason why I would not. I mean, that's kind of the point here. And I feel like I kind of want to take look at this. I saw a couple of cool things in Grifter as well, but I want to look at the rest of the Mastermind talents. The bigger they are, it's pretty good.
Perfect timing is a fun one.
Day, roll against you. See, the bigger they are, stay on target.
Also, you can make your own talents, but we will not do that today. We will do that after level ups if you are interested in making your own talent. It's a very shiny way to do it, but it requires a lot of back and forth, and I feel like once we all have a better grasp on the mechanics, it'll be a lot smoother to make talents that aren't going to be broken by session 3. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I've chosen put that gun away for the hitter talent.
Yeah. Nice.
Your gun doesn't scare me.
Nice.
What? You think just because you've got a little pea shooter in your hand, I'm not going to have time to scalpel out your eyes first? Sorry.
Yeah, you're a loose cannon.
Oh,
Spooky.
abso-fucking-lutely. He's kind of like a less sane version of Trevor, if I'm honest.
Less sane than Trevor. Well, I guess Trevor did have some sane moments. He was a very excellent businessman.
Yeah. Well,
If you can call
killing your
aggressive
competition.
if you can call hacksaw corporative mindsets being an effective businessman, which America would agree, pretty effective.
Oh. Slip of the tongue, takes one to know one, both look really good. From the Grifter list, Mastermind, I do like the bigger they are. Archangel seems like it would be also useful.
Right.
God, it's a hard, tough decision. There are 4 of them that I like real at the moment.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, this system is really well made, and like both Fantasy Flights and Powered by the Apocalypse, the guys who did Powered by the Apocalypse, took a lot from this game specifically. Actually,
I would have thought that it was made for a TV show.
Right? Yeah, no, totally unassuming. Made for like a very vaguely only kind of popular show from AMC. One that I have no interest in watching because the idea of we're the good guys who are also the bad guys who steal from the worst guys has been done to death, and I don't particularly care about what AMC has to say about it.
You and me both. I'll still buy their stock, though, because they're being shorted.
Yeah, true. Oh, man, to the moon.
Speaking of that, I bought myself some Dogecoin, guys.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You know,
just, like, for the lulz.
Yeah, That's not going to affect the stock market,
Oh,
but
no.
you know, it may bubble again. Who knows?
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's at like 4 cents right now. I'm like, it's 4 cents. What
Uh-huh.
happens if I buy 5 or 6 hundred?
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna take takes one to know one.
Nice.
It just seems like the ability to see if somebody is lying would be useful.
Yeah. I like that. And
Oh, yes, yes.
Especially for somebody
Mic
who's
on,
supposed to be
mic
like
off.
almost always 2 moves ahead of everybody.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna give Joker the Grifter Talent Social Center.
Okay.
I thought about that too.
Well, here's the thing. As a loose cannon as he is, he's literally going to be a plot point generator. All right, guys, we need to be quiet. Walks in, guns firing. Not that
Not gonna
bad,
like
but
you.
I've already... Yeah, don't worry, I've already killed the guards.
Yeah.
Shit.
I love that idea though. I'm not going to like you.
You don't have
Well,
to.
because my
Just
talent
be-
is silent entry. Okay? And you're talking about breaking in.
Not breaking in, just breaking bones.
Good.
That's
Lord.
not silent. He's gonna scream when you break it.
Breaking bones are very silent if they're the right bones. Cracking sternums, crushing windpipes, shattering skulls, it's all the same.
Let's not mix business with pleasure here. Let's get the job done. Keep
You can have both.
the extra violence to the minimum. And the more time
You're gonna
we
have
spend-
to convince
the
him
more-
of that.
the more time we spend in here playing around, the less likely we're going to be successful at what we're here to do.
All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy.
And speaking of getting in here to
Better
do
dull
what we're
than
gonna
dead.
do. Yes. I like that. Okay, does everyone have their talents picked out?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm just
Okay. Let me see here if I am missing anything.
doing
I
a little
don't-
copy paste here.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't think I'm missing anything at the moment. Okay. I am not. So, here's how we're going to open up if everybody is ready. Okay. So, we open up. It's a car. There's a taxi cab. It's a taxi van, right? One of those SUV taxis.
Mhm.
5 people get out of the van. All of them kind of cramped in there. Let's get a character description as we go through. We'll get a character description of Joker first.
All right, so just for a little context, is this...
Yeah.
Are we all suited up, ready to go, or is this another...
This is right before the job.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't really see a ton of his face through the ski mask he's got on. But there is long hair trickling out of the back of it, kind of in a wild, tangled mess. It is super greasy, looks like it has not been washed probably ever. At this point, it's just that black sheen of layers of oil that's kind of leaving a little bit of a trail on his back. He's wearing this
And it's raining, so that's accentuated.
Oh, yes, very much so. There's just the shiny sheet across his shoulders and back, separate from the rain entirely. He's wearing what seems to be kind of it's a black dress shirt and this black, almost like a ringmaster's overcoat, in addition to black cargo pants and combat boots.
Okay.
Gloved hands, and I don't know, do we give him an object or not right now?
Yeah, well, we can say that he can have an object.
A shiny aluminum baseball bat.
Nice. Okay. So we get like a freeze frame of Joker's face. And we kind of we get like a flashback. We hear Joker, incredibly deadly, decided that he's going to be taking up with this little group. The only thing that we know is that his job that they were pulling, he was kind of the wild card of it. But doesn't matter how it shook out. Shit ended up going his way. And we cut back. This is Joker's recruitment. Where does Joker often hang out?
I realized I had the mic off. In probably the scariest part of town you can find.
Mm-hmm.
In the back alleys. Generally, where he is, there's nobody. You can't find him during the day, really. Just during the night in his usual haunts. It's kind of delegated to 3 or 4 neighborhoods at a rotation, but very much in the slums.
Okay. So you're in an alleyway. What are you up to in this alleyway right now?
Well, probably this alleyway in particular is a small-time gang boss who hasn't paid his protection fees.
Huh. Okay. This guy, he's like looking at you. He's got like 2 goons with him, right? And he's like, hey, what the fuck do you want?
I told you had a week.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, dick it down your throat. I got another fucking week. These guys say so.
Oh, okay then. That's right. I'll just leave because after all, I'm not the boss. You very clearly are. And at that bat comes up, hits one of his buddies right across the jaw.
Oh yeah. He's like, hey, what the fuck? And like the other guy like kind of reaches for you.
And he probably gets Joker takes his combat boot, steps right on his foot, right in the arch, stamps down, grinds, shoves him backwards, still standing on his foot.
Yeah.
And then takes the bat to the big guy's head.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The boss like looks at you, he's like, wait, shit, no, give me 15 minutes, give me what?
Too late.
Yeah, and just fucking smacks him in the face. He goes careening down the area. Behind you, we get a pause, and then you hear Nice.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was putting on a show. Can I help you?
I figured that you're probably putting on a show to everyone.
It sends a message.
Says, that guy does, he's a pretty good, to whom it may concern. He walks up to you, and this guy kind of walks out of the shadows. He's got a very square face, ice cold steel eyes and thick eyebrows, very sallow cheeks. He's got a pretty big muscular build. Walks up and says, heard tales of a rabid dog round here.
Oh, really? Where? Generally, I encourage those to be put down when possible.
He looks at you and just kind of stares for a second.
Oh, come on, that was funny.
Yeah, and he kind of looks at you and he goes, good joke. I, happen to have a vested interest. Well, not me, but, we'll say a friend. You, happen to be a gigging entertainer?
Depends. What's the score?
Says,
and how many heads will roll?
he reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out a wad of bills and tosses it at your feet. He's probably about 10 feet away from you. He hucks it across the way at your feet, says, "Consider it in advance. Take it or not. And take the job or not. Inside, about in the middle, there's a street address. Be there in a week if you're interested." And
I
you
have
look at
one
the-
more question for you.
He looks at you and says,
What do I call an Iceman as yourself?
says, "For now, you can call me Bickle." And
What kind of
Yeah.
name is that?
he nods and says, "Mine." And then he just starts walking off.
Okay, that was a good one.
Yeah, and we cut back, and you kind of like walk out of the car with a slight grin on your face. And then the next person out of the car, Scott, your character's name is Mickey. Am I seeing that right?
Mikey.
Mikey. Okay. And out of curiosity, what's this a reference to?
Ninja Turtle.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. You get out of the car, and let's get a physical description of Mikey.
Okay, so his clothes is kind of like a suit. It's a real high class suit type thing, you know. That's his forte is high class thievery. So he's got to look the part. But his tie, it's an orange tie.
Hmm.
And he's clean shaven and nice hair, so he looks high class type thing so that you can get
Okay.
into those places if need be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's his whole look is I look like I'm rich, but I'm not.
I love that. Yeah, and we get you stepping out of the cab, and we get a cross shot of your face as well. And where does Mikey typically, what does he do with his free time? Where does he typically hang out, or what's he doing?
I would figure maybe bars and stuff like that, just listening to people in the bars, picking up on information in there, just
Yeah.
gathering intel for, hey, that they're going to be out of town for a week and a half.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that. And maybe you're at like a really nice hotel bar or something like that. And you're just kind of sitting there, and someone sets a drink in front of you. And what's your drink of choice?
I don't know. I'm not a drink person.
Okay.
Um,
So okay.
like, what's a high class type drink? I don't know.
Like an old fashioned would be good, or maybe just something on the rocks, like a nice liquor on the rocks.
I don't know. The only thing that pops in my head is just, you know, regular whiskey on rocks.
Sure. Yeah. We'll just say that like a really nice whiskey on the rocks gets set in front of you, and we kind of get like a freeze frame. We're like, that's Mikey. Silent, not exactly deadly, but he doesn't need to be. I mean, the man's a fucking ghost. He walks into a place, he stuffs his pockets full of everything he can find, and then he walks out. No one even knew that he was there. Now, on this particular job, he played a pretty important role, but you know how circumstances go. But I suppose he's part of the group now, so persona non grata, post up an APB for him too. And it cuts back, and it shows you like at the bar. You look at the bartender. Bartender says, "Compliments of the gentleman down the bar."
I pick it up, look over at him, raise it up, sniff it a little bit,
Yeah.
take a little drink of it.
He raises the glass too, nods, and continues drinking his drink. You know.
I would think after a few minutes, be like, "Well, what do you want?"
Yeah. He Says, I hear you're a man who knows how to get in and out of places pretty decently.
Well, most people can get in and out of anything, but I could do it without people knowing I've been in and out.
Says, that's good. That's good. You wouldn't happen to be offering any kind of services, would you?
Depends on what. I mean, I'm always available for whatever, as long as it pays well and it's got stuff that would be fun to have.
He quietly under the bar taps your leg with something heavy, and you realize it is a stack of bills. You look at it, and by your best estimation, this is about 15K. Says, it's a forward. Plenty of fun things to steal, plenty of cash to be involved. Inside, there happens to be an address and a time. If you're interested, show up. If not, no skin off my balls.
I'll consider it.
He nods and says, consider well. There's a lot more interesting places to break into than people's vacation homes. And starts to walk off. And we cut back and we get a shot of you kind of steeled and ready for this job. And then we get another person coming out of the car. They're wearing a Hawaiian shirt, sunglasses, bright as fuck, right? They got a grin on their face. They're like, I fucking hate the rain. What the fuck is this shit? This is just, I mean, it's fucking pissing out here. And we get a cut, and it says, Terminator. Yeah, well, he's on the files, but, I mean, I don't think he needs to be anymore. Put a cancel on it. And we get a shot of this dude just like walking down the street, pockets jingling with change, and he's got like a wallet chain hanging way down. He's got sunglasses. He's hey oh into fucking everybody he sees, and up walks the gentleman. Says, listen, I don't know how you got this. And he walks up to the guy, and he says, how the fuck did you find me? He goes, oh, come on, baby. I know how to find everybody. It's my fucking shtick. Like Abbott and Costello, they got that straight man, like fast-talking man kind of thing, or like Carrot Top's got all his props. My shtick is finding you and being annoying to your ass. And the guy just a dead look in his eyes. He goes, okay, you've made your point. What do you want? Well, for starters, I want 15 grand and an address and a time in the middle of the stack of the bills. Because apparently you've got a cool kids club going on and I'm not fucking involved. And in case you hadn't noticed, I'm the motherfucking coolest kid out here. And like fucking just like yelling on this boardwalk. And he's the other guy's looking at him just like, okay, fine.
Shut up.
You want to know what's up? I'll tell you what's up. Get the fuck out of my sight right now, and I'll have someone else give you the address. 15K, you do the job, you get paid for the job. This isn't how this works. We seek you out, you don't seek us out. He goes, okay, I get it. You're all hush, kiss, kiss, bang, bang. I get it. I fucking get it. But just, keep me in mind. Give me a card, drop me a line, maybe call. You never call your mother. And he's just like, at this point, he's walking away. And he's like, okay, fucking rude ass. Have a great day or life or whatever. And then it like cuts back to him. And maybe he was like mid-sentence, cuts out. In the fucking Bronx like this. I mean, I can't fucking believe. You ever been through fucking ghetto rain? That shit's the worst. It rains fucking lead out there. And then we get another figure emerging. And let's get a description of Khan. Check your chart, Jesta.
So Khan is also wearing a Hawaiian shirt, but he looks a bit more disheveled. He gets out, and he kind of squints and looks around, and he's got this look about just a slight sneer on the in the corner of his mouth. It could be mistaken for a slightly cocky upturn, but if you looking at his if you look at his brows before his eyes before he puts his shades on, you can tell that there's wheels turning in there, and that they're not exactly the kindest wheels either. You get but he kind of looks around, but he also seems relatively half disinterested. He looks like he knows exactly what the score is, but not sure. It's kind of hard to tell if he gives a shit.
Yeah. And we get like a cut of his face. It says, Khan. Yeah, this guy is he's bad news. He's the kind of guy who can think his way out of any situation. I mean, he could fucking think his way out of a leaking boat with paper mache. I swear, this guy's good. Rumor has it that at one point he was in a chess tournament with a grandmaster, something underground for a lot too much money. He won, but he looked like he was losing. Decided to win out of nowhere. Nobody knows how the fuck it happened. Needless to say, Mr. Kasparov's wannabe rival ended up losing 2 pinkies. He's like definitely a dangerous unknown quantity. And so Khan, what does Khan do in his spare time when he's not on the job?
Well, I would imagine he's probably either playing chess or poker. I feel like it would be appropriate given the fact that you referenced the chess that we go with poker. I was originally going to go with, but it's maybe like someplace that's like an upstairs room of like a business or something that like only certain people know about. And whatnot. And he's probably just kind of sitting there with his cards holding his cards in one hand and like picking up and taking a drink of like a Bombay Sapphire on the rocks or something.
Yeah.
Something
Classic
classy.
blue gin.
Yeah. Something that seems pretty classy, but he still kind of looks like he doesn't like he knows what's up, but might not give a shit.
Yeah, and maybe this is at the end of a hand. One guy, the typical loudmouth at the poker table. Oh, you're fucking me harder than my fucking accountant. You know what? Fuck this shit. I'm out. I'm cashing out. And fucking grabs some poker chips and walks to the big ape of a man at this backdoor game to fucking get his money. And in his seat, which is one that is directly across from you, sits down a man with a shallow square face and steely eyes. He's dressed very nicely. Just taps on the table, throws out a few chips, and everyone gets dealt in. And you're playing your hand. Maybe it's a good time for you to bluff, maybe not. But this guy plays a conservative game, and maybe this game goes on for long enough that you two are pretty much the last people at the table with money. And drawing a bit of a crowd because you guys have had a tit for tat that's pretty fucking impressive.
I think I've been slowly just eliminating everyone else.
Yeah.
But like I've been very strategically maybe I haven't even eliminated everyone, just the people I felt were dangerous to me, and then let him eliminate the others.
And you can tell, when you look a man in the eyes and you can size each other up until you're thinking the same thing. He's playing the game too. He's eliminating everyone but you two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just you two at the table at this point. And this guy doesn't talk. Like he does,
right.
very basic shit. Like someone asks him a question, he'll answer one word. He'll talk about dealing, or he'll talk about like whether he's folding or staying or whatever, you know. And you're finally you're at this hand, and you're dealt in your hand. You are dealt, we'll say, a 3 of spades, 4 of spades, 5 of spades.
Mm-hmm.
River's dropped, 5 cards on the river. He's sitting there, and he's and the other cards you have are junk. It's like a 2 of, or not 2. It's like a 7 of. No, I guess it'd be like a jack of kings, or a jack of kings. Jesus, a jack of diamonds, and like parts. Man, I'm getting my poker mixed the fuck up.
I am going to now create.
Jack of Kings.
I am going to commission somebody to make a Jack of Kings now.
But yeah, you're sitting there, and he finally kind of speaks of his own volition. He looks at you and goes, "Pretty good at this game, eh?"
Well, it's a hobby. See, you finally decided to open up. I'm guessing there's a reason here. You're here. Can't be my good looks. This faded about a couple of years ago, and he's clearly just bullshitting here.
Oh, yeah.
He's not unattractive. He's just kind of like he's just doing the thing where he's just like the obvious fake humble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the kind of like, I'm being humble almost sarcastically right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. He says, say this about your good looks. Maybe my friend happens to be looking for another friend.
Yeah, I don't know what you heard, but I'm not a rent boy.
He the first card of the river gets flipped, and it happens to be a 7 of spades. You're 1 away from a fucking straight. He says anything about renting or buying, for that matter. And he says, I need to move some furniture. You look like you can lift.
Yeah, sure. I did a little couch moving and couch surfing back in the in the 90s.
Yeah, and they oh, go ahead.
And he's just kind of like, and takes another drink of his Bombay Sapphire, and probably just kind of like watching the crowd at this point. Like he's not just he's playing the game, but he's also kind of like watching the crowd too, just for side amusement, like picking up on people who are running their own grifts or scams, as most people do in social situations.
Yeah, and
just kind of like sizing up who's trying to like manage everyone's opinion in the room
says
of themselves and what have you.
Yeah, he says, I'll give you a freebie right now. See if you can put pieces together. Happens to be the owner of the moving business. He's in this room. Or she. No, I'll tell you he. And the next card flips, and it's a 9 of clubs. Pretty useless to you.
Like, I just kind of look at him, and this is a point where I probably would have done my setup work before I even got into this game. This is one of those where like maybe there's like a quick little flashback of Khan having a conversation with the store owner in question.
Yeah.
Just a casual conversation. It doesn't even look like they're really talking about much outside of the weather, but you can tell he's already sized the place up. And he goes, and he just kind of looks over, and he just kind of goes, he goes, "Well, I guess you have to field an easy one before you know anything else." And I just kind of like, um, and I just kind of caught, and I just kind of raised my eyebrow and kind of like nod my head in the direction, be like,
Oh, go
you
ahead.
know, I always felt like khakis and polos was kind of a cop out. If you're gonna, run a computer store, you could try to do something different. I mean, everybody does khakis and polos, right? Am I right? I mean,
He
eh,
nods, says, "Yeah, you're pretty clever. Not the store owner I was necessarily talking about, but I think
he's,
you get what I'm saying."
he goes, and he goes, he's like, yeah, well, you didn't specify which store owner exactly, so I just went with the closest one.
He smirks and he says, "I happen to be an errand boy, contractor. I make
Do
pretty
tell.
good money being a contractor. And the boss, even though I'm contractor, gives pretty good benefits." And so the dealer's about to flip the card and he holds up his hand, says, "No, I fooled." And he stands up, he pulls out of his suit jacket. You know exactly how much money this is. It is $15,000. Says, "Count it. There's a job application." And
Says,
he says, "Oh, go ahead."
it's kind of like, you could have raised a hell of a stake there on that last hand.
Says, "Don't worry. I think we both know what card that happened to be." And he looks at you and he says, "Second hint, you met my boss once. You'll probably never meet him face to face again. But there's always hope." And
It's,
okay.
yeah, yeah. He kind of chuckled. He does this thing. He goes, just kind of scratches it like the scruff, and he's like, goes, well, I mean, if the employment is interesting enough, the benefits are good enough. Who knows? It's not like I have any solid plans immediately.
Yeah, he nods and says, "You know what to do."
Yeah,
And he says, "Das Vidanya," means "I'll see you later." And he walks out into the smoky crowd.
yeah. He just kind of, and I think Khan kind of looks around and goes, well, I think everybody's had enough entertainment for the evening.
Yeah, and
Uh,
there's a
so,
couple gawkers who are just like, "Yo, what the fuck just happened?"
yeah, he's just like, he's like, I think we've had enough entertainment for tonight, and I think I've dominated the table long enough. Somebody want to cash me out? Give me another drink too. Uh, I'm gonna take a whiz, drain the lizard, and he
Yeah.
just like this casual play off of like, this is every
Strange
day.
man give me $15,000 every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't. No, this is not exactly an everyday occurrence, but he's playing it like it is because he's
Oh,
just
for
like,
sure.
yeah, well,
Show you're too excited and you might get fucking mugged because they don't think you're made. Which
mm.
technically you aren't made right now, so it's good to pretend to be made.
Well,
Um,
and it's that thing. It's that thing where it's like pretending to. It's that thing where like appearing to know far more than I actually do. Like walk by, you know, and I'm just sharp enough to back at least some of that up. And you just
mhm.
walk by somebody and be like, by one of the guys that's been watching, and be like, you know, pretty sure you noticed the ring on her finger, but I'm not certain if you noticed the ring on his, and kind of like nod in the direction of the woman's husband, and like
Nice.
who has not quite yet noticed that he's messing with his wife. Be
Mhm.
like, dangerous game. I approve. As I go to the fucking and go as I head to the bathroom.
I love it. And we cut back to the taxi. You're getting out of the taxi. Your hair's getting wet. Your shirt's getting wet. And then one more person gets out, and they get out from the passenger seat. They get out, and who is it other than Bickle, wearing an all black, like an all black kind of jumpsuit situation with a bunch of pockets. He looks tactical. Like he doesn't look like he'd be out of the ordinary in on like a subway or just like walking around, you know. But it's just subtle yet just functional enough to pull off most jobs. Um, and he gets out, and we get a freeze frame of his face. As for Bickle, we know he's at the top of the food chain of something. Says not a lot, lets on a lot less than he knows, and fairly certain he's been talking exclusively with the Mark. So keep an eye on him. Up his status by 2 levels. Maybe get a couple guys from Homicide on it. I think that maybe we can trace something back to him. And cuts back to you guys. And Bickle is like unfurling a ski mask and throwing it over his face and looks at all you guys and goes, "All right, cowboys, we ready to take it?"
Yeah, sure, I guess. You sure this is where we want to start with?
Says, "Auspicious ends start with humble beginnings, friend."
Hmm,
And we get
what do they say?
and we get a back shot of you guys all standing in front of a local drugstore. And we cut to a room. Before we even see the room, we just hear like a fucking Waltons? Okay, no. Let me get this shit straight. We're hitting a fucking convenience store.
You want to shut up and let the man talk first.
Bickle looks at you, and at this point we see the scenery, and you guys are basically in like a community center room that's been rented out.
Right.
And he says, "Thank you. Yes, we're hitting a Waltons. Do you have any more questions about it?" He's like, yeah. Fucking why?" He says, "Haven't you ever heard of an aptitude test? Not graded to get a baseline."
He wants to see if you can actually use that. Does our loudmouth friend Terminator, does he have
Yeah.
anything on him? Like a weapon at all?
He flashed a shotgun.
Okay.
Like maybe you guys were like meeting in the parking lot or something, and like he was like, "Yo, check this out! I just got this chrome piece," and it's like a
Gotcha.
fucking bright silver shotgun.
So it would probably be
Right.
he wants to see if you could use that toy you're carrying.
He's like, "Fucking toy? Hey, no shit, toy. That thing cost me $2,300. That's a pretty fucking good shotgun. I got all the extras."
I can
Mustang's
see-
worth 80. Still a toy. Go
I'm
ahead.
pretty sure we can all see how nice the shotgun is and how pretty it is. I'm rather disappointed that you hadn't figured out that this was all a test, but nevertheless, I guess we work with what we've got. I suggest we all listen to the man and ask any actual questions that are relevant to doing the job if we intend to get paid anything, such as, what do we know as far as setup intel? Do we need to go in and do all the legwork ourselves, or is there anything that's provided ahead of time?
He actually looks at you and says, "Excellent question." And he unfurls a like a projector, turns it on, says, "This is the basic floor plan of the Waltons. So as you can see, You have your main door here, vestibule, bulletproof glass, standard, 2 automatic doors, locked with deadbolts, and simple alarm system behind it, something like a Mark KM30. So, a toddler with a water gun could take it out. Past that, we've got the countertops to the left, got the shelves left and right, got the photo station over there. And then there's the pharmacy up here. We're not concerned with the pharmacy. We're not drug dealers. We're thieves. Men's and women's restrooms. There's a break room here. Right by the break room, there's an office. Office has 2 safes. First safe holds spare tills, about $800 worth in there. Second safe holds deposits. Now, fun thing about this Waltons. Their corporate has not sent a deposit truck for about 5 weeks. So, roughly 100 grand, basic bills, unmarked, all in circulation, just sitting in plastic bags, marked and ready to go off on the next Garda truck. But that's not going to happen.
Cameras. Do we know the placement of cameras?
Yes, CCTV going to be all around countertops, all around sides, 5 behind pharmacy, 1 in the break room. Fucking despicable. And 2 in the office. Too many for us to account for. I mean, we could, but at that point, it's just fucking busy work. They don't have an off-site view. All their CCTV is contained in office. Take the tape. I know. Analog. Vintage, right? Wipe it. Break it. Whatever the fuck we want to do. Walk out like we were never there.
See a couple of issues here starting off. First of all, the layout. Problematic. We're going to need somebody that can watch the maximum amount of space. This counter right here blocks the view of several aisles on this side, and placing anybody in here will block the view over here on this side. This wouldn't necessarily be the biggest problem, considering we still need to see the counters and whatnot. And then we'd have enough people to maybe be able to cover both areas, except we still run into a problem back here by the restrooms and the break rooms. We're going to need to know probably about the schedule of what time people are going to be are most likely to be in the break room. No prediction on the men's and the women's. Definitely need to figure out the time of day where they're going to be the fewest amount of people. So I'm thinking...
Is this a 24-hour?
He says, no, not 24-hour. Closes at 9 o'clock.
Why not just go in when there's nobody there?
Well,
9
you can
o'clock
go
is
in.
still fairly early. How early does it open?
Opens at 7.
7 a.m. A lot of traffic moving around both of those times. 9 would probably give us a little bit more cover. People tend to be more energized in the mornings. At least law enforcement anyway. 9
Why
o'clock.
in the middle of the night?
Go in when after it's closed.
Yeah.
That's probably the safer bet.
I have a feeling they want to see us at our worst. Am I right?
We want to see you at your average.
Then why not send us in? Let's see here. Rush.
I'd rather not do a smash and grab. What do we know about the power supply running in and out? The alarm systems, the alarm system.
Like I said, alarm system's easy. It happens to be on full power grid in 3 locations. One of them goes out, the whole thing goes off. Pretty standard affair. As for actual store, there's a backup generator There's a backup generator in back area of pharmacy, but if you cut external power, someone has to activate that generator. It'll only flip half light, still giving us plenty of dark cover.
What time do the police change shift? 2 o'clock?
Depends. This area of city, probably about 2, most likely right.
A few extra minutes is a few extra minutes.
He nods and says, "Not a bad thought. We'll watch police scanner overnight. Give us an update on best time for police being gone."
Definitely a good idea. Make sure we know exactly when and where. Where's the closest station from this place? The closest police station.
5 blocks. Out time with traffic and the weird janky road. Probably about 2 minutes maximum. Most likely, if you trip an alarm, cops are going to be there pretty quickly. Only one way in and out, except for loading door, but that's new schematics. We don't have loading door or new back room on here. That's going to have to be on site find.
Anybody up for a little recon before we do this?
That's what I was voting. Should just go in there and look around.
I think we should send Loudmouth in. I'd love to see that.
And like
I
you
don't
look
think
over
we
at
should-
Terminator. You look over at Terminator. He's like picking his nose with his pinky. He looks at him and
Of
goes,
course he fucking
"Hey,
is.
what the fuck? Who you calling loudmouth? The Russian's quiet as fuck."
I don't think we need to send him. I'm not certain that he's got the requisite abilities we're looking for.
Come on, I need to go to a drugstore anyway. I gotta pick up some magnums.
Get, I would say probably on your own time for that.
He shrugs and goes,
Don't need to
"I
know
thought I
anything."
could." He shrugs and goes, "I'm nothing if not efficient with my time. What can I say?"
Yeah, well, that's be that as it may. We'd rather not leave any particular. We don't want to give away the game before we're afoot.
I
And I'm
suppose
really
you'd pay with
certain
your
that
credit card, too.
I was gonna say.
No, I
you're-
wasn't fucking born yesterday. I'll pay them with a gram of coke. Yeah, of course I fucking pay with cash, dummy.
Yeah, no, I still. Mikey, what can you tell me? You any good with people?
I mean, generally, I could be good with sizing people up and getting them to look the other way. I mean, that
I think we need to find a way to infiltrate the back room, get an idea of what it looks like.
If you need a distraction, look no further.
I was totally thinking of sneaking in the back dock loading area and getting the layout of that, understanding that. And I can get in there without anybody knowing I was even there.
I think we've found our recon, gentlemen. At least for the back room.
Oh, come
need at least-
on, it'll be fun. Let me go.
We need to watch the front. We need to watch the front doors and the business for at least 24 hours before we hit this place. We need to get a sense of everything we can get. Become familiar with it, the traffic, the kinds of people that we can expect to come by, to be walking by. Not only do we need to worry about the police, but we need to worry about foot traffic that might be able to look at the building and see that there's somebody moving around in there when the place is supposed to be closed. So the least amount of foot traffic, that means making sure that there isn't that there is few random, I don't know, street people, whether it happens to be home or drug dealers, hookers, I don't care what. If they walk past, we need to know about when they walk past and about what time the heaviest that is.
Yeah.
So
And Bickle looks at you, you three, kind of raises an eyebrow. Then he looks at you four, rather, raises an eyebrow and goes, "See a lot of potential in two of you. Don't know what the boss saw in the other two, but." And he kind of just shrugs and
I'm
says,
so hurt.
"Yeah." And Terminator's like, "It's okay, man. You and Mikey, maybe you're not the smartest apples in the bunch, but like, here's the thing. Khan and I, we got this shit on lock."
I just kind of look over at Terminator like, the fuck are you talking about? Just kinda give him this smirk and be like, you might want to take only one step backwards instead of two.
He shrugs and goes, "Hey, dumbass, we're all sitting in folding chairs right now."
That's about the time he knocks over the coffee, gesticulating. Saw that coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh
said,
man.
I'm
it's kinda-
glad everyone looks at me like a one-trick pony, but I suppose you say
No,
jump,
no.
I say how. I ask how high, huh?
No. It's not a matter of one trick pony. It's a matter of utilizing the talents we have in the most efficient way that we possibly can. If we're going to impress whoever has put the money in front of us that they've put in front of us to do this particular job, then we need to make sure that it looks professional. It can't look like a bunch of amateurs did the job, or we're not actually going to get the bigger job that comes after this.
Thank
know-
you. I didn't realize that's what this was.
And Bickle says, one more thing. Operational budget. He pulls out of his coat pocket like 4 or 5 big wads of hundreds, tosses them on the table in front of him. Just one of the thud, 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 thud. You have $50,000 as an operational budget. Use this to get any gear you need. Khan, you happen to be a very intelligent man and you've hit on something very big. Professional. We don't want mess. We don't want muss. We don't want fuss. Treat this as if you're robbing Fort fucking Knox.
Exactly. If you're gonna do the job, do it right. That's
And
what they always used to tell me anyway. Don't
yeah,
ask me who they were.
Terminator walks up to the stack and is like, "Oh, sweet." And like Bickle puts his hand over it and he says, "Operational budget only.
Yeah,
Spares will be paid out after job. And
Yeah.
speaking of after job, I should hit on compensation. We don't need anything in this safe. Well, we don't need any of the money in the safe. Some paperwork in there is important. Give us, or you keep and split however you want. Just afterwards, you keep that. We keep in contact if we like you. I'm going to be on the ground with you. I'm going to be operating. If you need my talents, I'm more than happy to provide. I will be a blank dummy. You put me wherever, I do whatever. Long as it won't cost me my life, I'm more than willing to let you use or make mistakes with me. I'm comfortable in the fact that I'll get away even if you don't."
Khan's like, so the first thing is that maybe if we've got an operational budget that allows us to get a few things, perhaps we get a little bit of listening equipment, make it about 48 hours, get a really good feel for it. Perhaps I'm particularly interested to know anything that I can possibly know about the manager of this place, or any of the shift leads, any information that we could use. Because, to be honest with you, if we could somehow use one of their security codes rather than breaking the security system on the way in, that would be ideal. That way, somebody takes the fall for it, they feel that it becomes an open and shut case for the cops if it looks like it's an inside job. Nobody looks any further for it.
What if we just
Brings
borrowed
up
a
my
manager
point.
and made them disappear?
No.
They
I got a
skipped
better idea.
town, their code is used.
I got a better idea. When the manager opens the door in the morning, I come up behind him. I can find out what the code is like that.
And he's not going
you
to
picked
see
over the
you
shoulder,
do
didn't
that.
you?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Nice. I like that.
How about this? How about you break in, and because you're probably not going to be able to, most door keypads are going to be on the inside. They got to unlock the door, get inside, and then tap in a code.
And by
You're
the way,
probably
this is
already
going to
gonna-
happen a half hour before opening, if not longer. They're not going to let you in to see that.
No.
That's what docks is for, the loading area.
If you can get in and out without if you can get in and out without the alert, without the security system going off, or without leaving a footprint that the security system has been tampered with, being able to get the manager's code would be helpful.
Then why not just grab footage of him entering the code in the morning?
Do we have somebody with the computer skills to do that? To hack in? If they're using CCTV and it's closed circuit, that's not going to be something that's broadcast. We'd actually have to get into the office.
Well, you're already talking about breaking in.
Do you think?
Bickle shrugs and like Terminator goes, "Yeah, the weirdo's got a good fucking point actually. How do we get in
You know
there?"
what? You know what? I got it straight up. So, Mikey, you're gonna have to sneak into the office during opening hours. And Joker, you want to create a distraction? Make like you slip and fell, accident style. Don't go as far as say Friday, but make it look like something and draw the attention away so that Mikey can get in and get an idea of what that security code is so we can come back in the middle of the night and use it. The idea is that we're framing this guy up for the theft in and of itself. I don't want his body to hit the floor. We need the cops to have somebody they can put in jail that isn't us.
Okay.
I mean, it'll go down a little like this. Joker, you'll be the last one of us to enter. Mikey,
And like we cut to a shot. Maybe
Yeah.
some like cool ass music is playing, and shows each of you entering, one at a time.
Yeah.
And as this is all playing out as you're saying it, right?
Yeah, and be like, first thing, Mikey will be the first one to arrive on the scene. He'll pretend to be a shopper, an average customer, for a good 5 to 10 minutes before I arrive.
And
I'll
like we get a brief shot of like Mikey, and like someone in like a blue and red uniform comes up and is like, "Hi, welcome to Walton's. Can I help you find anything?"
About
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes later, I'll walk in. I'm going to pretend to have a bad connection to my cell phone as I walk around the store.
Yeah.
It'll give me a chance to look, and it'll give me a chance to check out where all of the security cameras are, where all the possible points of problems could be, any potential extra things that could be used.
Yeah,
And-
and we get that shot of you like on your cell phone, and like the guy's like, "Hi, welcome to Walton's. Can I?" And then like means like you hold up a hand or something. And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, and I just proceed to walk around like, no, I can't. No, I'm not. It's a bad signal. Hold on, let me try over here. And then holding the phone up and things like that.
Right, and this is where I will draw the camera presence. Oh, that's wrong. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Alt for a circle ellipse. Cool. So these circle ones have 360. Go. And then the square ones, I will draw sight lines for. But you can continue while I do this.
30 minutes, approximately 30 to 45 minutes after I arrive. Then 30 to 45 minutes after I arrive, you Terminator, you'll be watching the parking lot outside. I'm going to make sure that if there's any problems, any unexpected guests that could be problematic. Say a officer rolls up to, get themselves some snacks on their patrol, or perhaps perhaps an ambulance actually shows up, or something that we're going to need to know on the fly. I'm going to have you text me with that information immediately. You're on lookout.
Goes, what the
And then,
fuck? I'm on lookout? Whatever. And like fucking just
like,
before you even say something dismissive to him, he already fucking knows
Yeah.
you're gonna, so he just fucking is like, I fucking whatever.
he's he'd kind of look over, like, once I've had a chance to get an idea of how of in about approximately 1 hour, in approximately 1 hour, I will I will send a message with the information to Mikey on the exact rotation of these cameras. Basic sight lines, basically what their pattern of rotation is, so that he can work out a pattern and not be seen.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to want to make sure that we're also going to want to make sure that we keep an eye. I'm also going to keep an eye towards the men's room, the women's room, and the break room. Keep an idea of how to keep an idea that there's going to be, just to avoid unnecessary encounters with people that might be questioning why a customer is walking into the office.
Yeah, yeah.
could always make myself a vest.
True.
Eh,
Yeah, and
I mean,
actually, Terminator looks at you and goes, this.
Did you just say you had a vest to this?
Oh, okay, fucking listen. You know, I met a lot of really good contacts. I sling slag to most of the. Oh, okay. Yeah, laugh it the fuck up that you got a common working man amongst you fucking royalty. Like, sort of thing.
Oh, yes, royalty. You realize you're talking to a former game show host.
He like looks at you
Royalty
and goes.
my ass.
He looks at you and goes, "Okay, Bob Barker, why don't you go neuter yourself in the back then? Fuck off."
At least I didn't work for Waltons.
I think, yeah, it's just like, can we all get back to the point that we're getting to here?
Yeah.
The getting into the office, the first time is just going to be to get to the key. Is just going to be to get the code, and you're probably going to have to pull it up on CCTV, on the security cameras and what have you. But at least you know about the time frame of day that you'll be looking for. And
Yeah.
having a vest is exceptionally handy, as long as it's not stained and it's still in good working.
Hey, their fucking dress codes are brutal over there, okay? It's fucking pristine. I take care of my shit.
Be that as it may, please tell me we are not ripping off the Waltons you work for.
He says, "Okay, wait, which address is this again?" And then like rattles off an address and he goes, "I think I did a shift there once, but it was like 5 years ago. I think we're good. They're not gonna recognize me."
I'd still volunteer to have him out in the car. Can't be too careful with safety features.
Yeah.
You know what, Terminator? just because you're being a good sport about it, we'll use some of that operational budget that you can have an ice cream while you're watching the ice cream cone while you're watching the front door.
He's like, yeah, bite me. Uh,
What, you don't like ice cream cones? I thought everybody liked ice cream cones. I like ice cream cones.
well, yeah, of course I fucking like ice cream. What fucking kind of head games are you playing with me? Yeah, get the fucking get back on
Just
track.
saying you can have an ice cream. That's my line, and I'm just saying that you can have an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Offer a man ice cream and he loses his lid.
So
I
Yeah.
really wish I could have said I didn't see that coming.
yeah, and I love that. And yeah, like as this goes on, like this fucking goes this little mini area goes off without a hitch. Mikey, you get in there, you browse around a little bit, and then you wait until you get the go ahead. You hear Joker, and Joker, what does it sound like when you take a spill?
Damn it! Oh, God! What the hell? Who put fucking Twizzlers on the floor?
Yeah, and like immediately like three people come over, and the first one comes over is the guy who greeted Mikey. He's like, "Welcome to Walton's." Can I? Oh my god! Like, he like immediately runs to the phone and is like, "Manager
No.
to the front, please. Manager to the front. Code green. Manager to the front."
Code green.
Sets his fucking phone back down and runs over, and he's like,
Right.
"Okay, sir, I'm trained in this. Please make sure that you elevate
Don't
your legs."
Fucking
And-
touch me.
He's like, "Okay."
hobbling up off the, pulling
Yeah.
himself up by the shelving, spilling
And-
food on the floor.
It's about this time you see a fairly rotund man walk from the back in like a much nicer Walton's outfit suit. So like it's like a button up, like he probably got it at a fucking retail conference or something. His hair is slicked back, you know. He's got like the double chin going on, but like his skin's very smooth. And he walks up and he says, "Oh my goodness, sir, I am so sorry."
You
Uh,
should be.
Yeah.
All right.
And he
I
says,
almost lost my cool there. Just
he,
tell me you're going to, I don't know. Ouch.
Of course. No, you don't even have to say it. We will get you compensated. And actually, Tanisha, and like this girl. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a point where like because he's still wandering around that Khan is probably just under his breath like make a slightly bigger scene as he said like sends the word to Mikey that the manager is on the floor,
Yeah,
making sure that like the bathrooms in the break room are clear for the time being.
yeah.
I
And
think I can. Tries to straighten up and then
and he like
Ugh.
at this point is half paying attention to you, and this like teenager like walks over and is like, "Yes, Mr. Danview, did you work candy today?" "Yes." "Well, it appears that you dropped something." I'm sorry, Tanisha." "Yes."
Is this the little one that's decided to cripple me so?
"Don't worry, Tanisha, you're fired." And she just like looks at him and is like, "What? Okay, well, fuck you, Mr. Danview." And like fucking, he's like, "Excuse me, you are to get out of my Waltons right now." She says, "I don't want to be in your fucking Waltons. I fucking hate this. I do this shit after high school and you're gonna fire me because some dipshit customer fucking dropped something and then tried to put an old Jimmy slip and fall on you?
Oh,
Fuck you, you fat fuck."
Just
Yeah, and like this dude at this point, he's incredibly calm and says like, "You need to leave the store."
I think that this
I
is
think
the
there's
point
enough
where
drama there going on. I'll just leave that alone. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is the point where Khan kind of steps in and plays the role of the White Knight and
Yeah.
kind of defending, like, sir, that's probably it might not have been her fault. It could have been another customer bumped and knocked it off. You should. I mean, do you have? Is there a? He's like and firing somebody in front of customers. That's awfully unprofessional.
Extremely
Who's your
unprofessional.
district
You
manager?
should be helping me, not firing your employees.
He looks at you. He says, "You're asking for my district manager?"
He says, "Well, he says, who's above you? Are you the store manager? Or are you the full on? Are you a shift coordinator, sir? What is your name? I'd like to know what your name is." And I've probably got the cell phone out and whatnot.
He's like, "My name is
like
Ronald
cameras.
Danview. I am the shift manager here." And he says, I am the store manager here, and contacting the district lead will get you nowhere. We play golf every Sunday, and I don't like customers causing rabble in my store as much as I don't like my employees.
Well, then apparently I need to take this to the news. How you treat your employees here is a reflection on your public image. Totally playing up the whole
and
should I be calling the local news right now? I mean, we could. And
at
clearly
this point,
girl has been done wrong, and this man here still needs help. Why
So
is nobody?
The pain.
he has turned away from you, and
Mhm.
he's looked at Henry, mouthed something, and by this point, Henry, the guy who's like, "Hi, welcome to Walton's. How can I help you?" has come back with 2 gift cards in his hands. He takes the gift cards and says, "For you, $30 for your trouble," to Joker, and then Connie says, "And for you, $10 to leave here and spend it at a different Walton's."
Did you say this will pay my medical bills? Really?
Pay for
Maybe
medical
I
supplies
should just
purchased
call
at
an
Walton's.
ambulance for myself then.
I believe that it will pay for at least I believe it'll pay for at least 3/4 of of a generic painkiller.
Maybe.
And
Why?
actually,
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna give you something, Jesta.
Mhm,
You've noticed the way this guy is handling this.
mhm.
It's not just dickish. You've seen this kind of chutzpah before
Mhm.
from people who have been in situations where they've got nothing to lose.
Right.
He seems a little bit more confident than you would expect for a dude who's managing this place. He's pretty much outright just said "fuck you" to 2 customers.
Right. Be like, yeah. At this point, it'd be like, and maybe I have, and maybe I have planned for this, right?
Mhm.
Maybe there
Okay.
is, maybe this is where we use Bickle.
Okay.
Maybe this is Bickle's
Mhm.
cue to play the role of a doctor that
Mhm.
happens to be on site that can
Yeah.
diagnose that ankle as being far worse than a $30 gift card.
Yeah. Bickle Bickle walks over. He says, "Oh," and he's speaking in worse broken English. He goes, "Wait, is okay, doctor in old country," and
In old country.
Joker.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he walks over to you, Joker, and he starts muttering something in some Slavic language, which I'm assuming you don't speak any Slavic languages.
No.
Yeah. Maybe Khan, you recognize this as Ukrainian from a couple underground gambling dens.
Right?
Um,
It's just like,
He turns the ankle and then he twists it just uncomfortably enough, Joker, that you get a slight ah sort of thing. And he's
Oh,
he
is
looks
that
at you.
is that sprained or?
He looks at you and says, "Disconnected here and here between fibrous tissue and cartilage. Looks like going to need to get taken to hospital. Possible amputation." And the manager just looks at him and says, and the manager looks at him, and Mikey, at this point, you're in the office. You've skimmed through the security footage. You see the code, and the code is 1, 2, 3, 4 pound.
Oh, so the password isn't password this time.
No, and this is the funniest part. It's Henry is the guy who punched in 1234 pound. The guy who greeted every one of you. His security code is 1234 pound. And like you look in the office and you actually get to size up the safes for a second. You notice that the bottom safe is very bog standard. It's like a super easy commercial model. You have bump keys for this shit. Like that's how commercial this shit is, right? Like every safe cracker should be able to crack this. The safe above it though is like a $50,000 like high-tech super safe. And
That's what I thought.
needless to
That's what I
say,
thought.
this is not a very standard safe to have in a store like this. The bottom safe is marked. The bottom safe, actually, no, neither of them are marked. However, you notice that the combination for the bottom safe, like, is literally sticky noted to the bottom safe. Yeah, gross incompetence at its finest. But yeah, the rest of the office is a very standard layout. There's a long L desk. There's a lot of paperwork all around the room. A lot of just random retail supplies, that sort of thing. But yeah, what's your plan now?
I'll take a pen.
Well, at the very least, if you're not going to call an ambulance. Sorry, I think it's still history.
Yeah,
Yes.
go for it.
Okay, so looking at the top safe, I would need to know the model and stuff of that
Yeah,
I can do the research to how to get into that safe at a
Yes.
later point. Take the number from the bottom safe that is on a sticky note. Not take the sticky note, just
Yeah.
write the number
Right.
down.
yeah. Yeah, and so the safe on the top is an A5 Titan safe. These are industrial safes that are used to hold large cash flow and high valuables. Pretty much nothing's going to get into this unless you take it off site, very difficult, crack it open, you need to know the combo, or else very difficult. Or you take something like a thermal lance to it.
Is the thermal lance within our operational budget?
Find a hard hacked one out of like an acetylene like blowtorch setup or something, but it's going to take much longer than a standard thermal lance. We're talking like the difference between burning at like 3,000 degrees and burning at like 10,000 degrees. Like, you know.
So we're going to probably need the actual combination to this safe if we can find it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. Is there a place I can hide within the office until after lockdown? Puts the night deposit into that safe.
Yes, actually. If you want to try, you could make a hide roll for me. This is where we're going to get our first rolls. There is a couple spots that are feasible. So what you're going to do is we're going to go and we are going to roll. Let me go to your character sheet. So you'll be rolling a thief plus hide, and then plus agility. No, actually, because you're going to be staying in one place for a long time, we'll do willpower. So that would be roll a 10, a 6, and an 8. Oh, and also you have silent entry, which is perfect. So I would say, okay, so that wouldn't apply here because you don't have any D4s that you're using. So yeah, roll a D6, a D8, and a D10. All right. Excellent. That's an opportunity.
Nice.
Mhm. Okay. So that's a 12 versus a 7. So see how that went? I rolled a 4, 3, and a 3. So I took the 4 and the 3, the top two, added them together, and that gave me 7. He had an 8, a 3, and a 4. So I added the 8 and the 4 together, which makes a 12, which is better. You also did an opportunity. So let me real quick read up on opportunities again. Okay. Next. Okay. So opportunities basically can be cashed in like kind of weaker plot points. So either they can give you an advantage in a situation, i.e., add one die, or like a circumstantial die, or they can be used to negate a disadvantage. So, yeah. So basically, you get to hold on to that for as long as this situation goes on. So, you get in the back and you start to hide. Out in front, you guys are doing your thing. Where like people are yelling. Yeah, and
Oh, the pain.
yeah,
Can I use takes one to know one to see
Mhm.
exactly what the fucking deal is with this guy?
Oh, well.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna
So
say
what's
they're
the
dirty.
yeah? What's the description of take one to know one?
Well, takes one to know one is it basically is you're good at lying, so you know what other people you catch it when other are sharp about it when other people lie.
Yeah.
What it says is trying a notice action to judge whether someone is lying to you, which I kind of am.
Mm-hmm.
Add a D8 to my notice action to sense a lie.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it. So if you want to do that, you would be rolling a alertness. And are you trying to pick up on it with Grifter, with Mastermind? And if so, how are we doing it?
Hold on. So it's alertness, which is what a D8. I feel like it would be picking up on by I'm gonna say in this case it makes more sense for Grifter. It'd be more
Yeah.
advantageous to go Mastermind, but Grifter just makes more sense because I'm not like I'm not outsmarting him in a game at this point. He doesn't even know
Right.
he played anything. This
Right.
is a social situation, so be
Okay.
what roll 2d8s then?
So you would roll Grifter, alertness, and then you get an extra circumstantial D8 as well.
Okay.
I have just generated an opportunity for you, by the way.
So that's agility or it's alertness, Grifter.
And then your D8 for takes one to know one.
Okay, so that's 3d8 right there.
Ooh, that is 2 disadvantages.
Mm,
Let's see. So
well,
1 and so you still beat him.
right.
But I think this comes at a cost. Do you want to cash in your opportunity that I rolled for you into canceling out one of those disadvantages?
Yeah, probably be a good idea.
Okay. So this guy, you get a real weird sense off of him. You
Mm-hmm.
don't think that he gave you his real name.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even think that this guy even like is supposed to be here. Like he clearly like knows what he's saying, but
Mhm.
everything about this just feels like weirdly phony. And you catch like just a moment of sharpness where you two lock eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe he notices, oh fuck, something's up. He says, I'm going to call the police right now. All
I
of you
look
need
at
to leave here immediately.
I look
You
at him.
are trying to scam me.
I actually look at him and I go, I I'm pretty comfortable with you calling the police because I really don't think that I really don't think that's in anybody's best interest now, is it? And I just give him this smirk like I know what the fuck is up. And at this
Nice.
point, I'm trying to throw him completely off his fucking game. What would I have to roll for that?
I think that that would be an excellent time to roll. Let me look at your stats here.
Ooh, can I use poker on this? Because I'm essentially running a bluff on him.
Yeah, I'd say run grifter, poker, and run. Let's see. I would run probably strength because you're essentially intimidating him.
Okay,
Is there a way to help on this?
Yes, actually, this is how so I was going to save this for the actual heist, but this is perfect for generating secondary characteristics. So, you know how you don't have anything in Mastermind, or Hacker or Thief there, Joker?
Sure.
If you roll me a Mastermind, you can determine, is that my 6, is that my other 6, or is that my 4?
That would be
And you
about
can just
4.
roll it. Okay? And the cool thing about the 4 is you get a plot point for picking the 4. Not even for failing at it, just for picking the 4 for your troubles, you're getting a plot point for it.
Beautiful. Where can we like write those down?
The plot points?
Yeah, just like keep track of those.
I would probably put it just in description because we don't really, I mean, there's not really, I don't like these character sheets. I'm gonna get you guys some supplemental shit. Okay.
But
So, just you got 1d8 and then 2d5 or 2d6s. Okay, so
Yep.
5 plus 8 plus you gain an opportunity. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then nice.
Whoa!
You also gain, so that's 2 opportunities. Let me roll the 3d6 here. 6. And he generated himself. You have 4 opportunities out of this.
Oh my god.
No, 3 opportunities, but still, that's pretty goddamn good. 9 versus 13, you win for sure, plus another 4 added to the die pool. So yeah, definitely. And power in numbers. That's one thing to know about this game. Helping each other is fucking essential. Only one person can help in action, like pretty standard TTRPG rules, but helping each other is great because it just generates opportunities for everybody. And even if it fucks up, it generates fucking loads of points, loads of plot points.
I'm gonna guess that part of his negative reaction has to do with the fact that I was filming him with my son.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
for
right.
sure.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be and we've got several opportunities here. So what can we do with these opportunities? What does this do?
Okay, so opportunities allow you to take hold of the narrative. Like obviously within reason, but basically like if you want to say, hey, this happens, like, oh yeah, and then I catch him in a lie or something like that, totally viable.
Okay.
Yeah. They're also
So-
used in raising the stakes, which actually, you know what? Hold on a second.
I was going to say I have an idea. Because Joker thinks all this is real fucking fishy. Like, with the 2 safe thing, for starters, he doesn't know that the other one is super, like, tricked out. But, like, having 2 safes, yeah, that's kind of weird. Personally, I've never been in, like, a smaller store like this that's had necessity for 2 safes.
Oh, no, 2 safes is kind of standard.
Well, not the place. I mean, I've worked at a McDonald's. I've worked at a bookstore.
Fair.
Neither of them have used 2 safes.
Fair.
Well, all right. You could always be like, you just didn't know the other one was there. And I'm like, I don't know where you'd fucking hide the second one. The office is a broom closet. But anyways,
Oh, yeah.
That, and then in the way he's acting real fucking fishy, and we're here for paperwork. Yeah, this is a money laundering scheme if he's ever seen one, And even if it isn't, just calling him out on it might give him, let him give us more information.
Okay.
So, is that alright if we use a thing? Just
use an
for him to
opportunity
call
for
you
that.
out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you rolled one of them,
Yeah.
unless that's unless that's a hard and fast, only the person who made the primary.
Oh, no. Anyone can use those opportunities. I mean, this game is a group consensus game, for sure.
Right. Shoot. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm
What do
sure
you-
the cops would love to look at your records and realize this is a money laundering scheme.
He looks at you, and then he looks at Khan, and then he looks at Bickle. He says, if you three think that you're going, or Jesus Christ, hold on.
Oh God, he goes
Three-
Russian.
Yeah, if you three think that you're going to be doing anything in my store suspicious, then I think that it would be in your best interest to leave.
I think
And
he kind of.
Scratches. Hold on.
Go ahead.
He scratches his stomach and lifts up his shirt just slightly to where you can see he has a Makarov, just a very small handgun, sitting there, and then puts his shirt back over it, and just looks at you guys with like this look of just like, I'm not doing it. And at this point, Bickle stands up, says, "Okay, big guy is big," and like kind of like nods at Joker. He's like, "Con, you're a big boy. Joker, maybe we should take a walk." Or no, he wouldn't say that. He'd say like, he'd look at you, Con, and he'd say, "You're a big boy. Come on," and then he just reaches down to Joker. He wouldn't use your guys' official names.
Joker comes up with the. No, go ahead.
I think why don't you act first here, because I have some ideas of what I want to do, but I want to give you the opportunity to do things your way too. So
Okay. No, he's
'Cause I
probably
can
going to
always
come
have
up with
plan
that bag of Twizzlers.
Hmm.
They're open.
Yeah.
They've been open.
He's been munching on.
He just takes the thing of Twizzlers. All right. And then, just out of kind of like a recess in one of his in his coat pocket, flicks out a $5 bill, grabbing it with his ring finger, flicking it onto the floor.
Right.
And turns around and walks out with the bag of Twizzlers.
And Henry has been standing here the whole time, and he says, "Sir, do you want your change or receipt? Can I get a bag for that?" Like as you like walk.
Oh, I'm
I just
fucking
gotta-
sure he can.
I just kind of look. I just kind of at this point, there's a moment where maybe there's a plan in this as well.
Yeah.
Maybe like maybe Mikey is exactly where he actually needs to be right now, and
Mhm.
at this point, I look down at my cell phone to see whatever message he has sent me at this point,
Right.
and just I kind of go, and I look at it and I'm like, doesn't work anyway, and go, you know what? You're right. We were just trying to pull a scam. We figured you were just a bunch of rubes here, and that we could just pull a fast one on you. And you're right. I think we'll just fuck off right now, and you have yourself a nice day. I'll just, can't get one past you. You're way too sharp for me. And kind of just this slight sneer on my face as I walk out, because clearly,
Mhm.
he doesn't know what the game actually even is.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, and we'll
And we are still going to use his code when we break in late at night and
Oh,
steal
yeah.
everything, because
not Henry's code.
well, whoever this guy is, we're using this guy's we're using that code. Somebody's going down for this, and it ain't
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. And maybe this is the point where a couple minutes have passed and you hear the commotion has stopped, Mikey, and you hear the door open and kind of walks over and you get like a call, or you hear he like makes a call and he says, yeah, okay. No, I know. Okay, I know I'm not supposed to. Listen, we've got a fucking problem. Oh, am I not supposed to call you when we have fucking problems? Yeah. No, yeah. Yes. Yeah, 3 jackasses came in, accused us of money laundering. Thank fucking God. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't outright accuse him of money laundering.
No, but I did.
Yeah, Joker did. He's like, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, they know something's up, and obviously I know something's up.
I made sure to leave separately from them, so it just looks like I would. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, no, they were all in tandem. It was, yeah, no. What? You don't think it's... Are you fucking kidding me? No, we just got those... How do they find out about some shit that happened last night? Okay? How do they... No, we just fucking opened. Okay. Yeah, okay. They've got ears everywhere. Whatever the fuck you... Okay. Listen, I'm not here. I'm not trying to fucking argue. I'm just calling you to let you know. Might want to grab some extra guys. Have some shit. Just... Yes, I know how important this... Okay, would you shut the fuck... All right, you know what? I told you why I need you to go. All right, bye. And just, like, hangs up. He just sits there. And he starts messing with the electronic keypad on the safe. And punches in a series of numbers that you can see from your hiding spot. You have his code. He opens the safe, and you see a box, a black box. He walks over to the he reaches over to the keyboard that controls the cameras and taps a button, and that screen goes black. He opens up the black box, and inside are several very large gems, pure and crystal clear. There's a strange monogrammed engraving on the inside of this box, and the box seems fitted specifically for these gems. You can't get a good look at them, but you can tell they're high quality. He looks at them, closes the box, flips the thing closed, closes the safe and locks it. He says, fucking rocks are good for shit. Opens the door, goes back outside.
Okay, did I miss he put the rocks back in the safe?
Yes, he put the rocks back in the safe.
Okay, that's good. I wait a few minutes sitting there until I know it's all clear, and then get up and walk out, take the vest off, throw it in the trash, and walk out of the store.
By the way, you notice the vest, the name on the vest is Wendell. So anyway.
Well, unless we're framing fucking Terminator, Wendell.
Yeah.
Might want to not leave that clue lying around. Unless we intend to dump him in the goddamn river.
He was being an asshole.
Goddamn river.
Yeah.
He's
being a
basically
butthead.
useless.
He could still be a material witness against him if they catch him.
Then I'll kill him. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Except for the fact with the part where he tells them that these assholes used him to get in, and fucking he didn't really want to be a part of it, and he'll help them find us.
And then he'll die suspiciously in prison. So he'll be held in the county jail for a little while. That minimum security shit, you know, people commit suicide in there more often than you think.
The thing you're forgetting here is we don't even want to have to go that far. That's more effort than we want to make. It takes far less effort to take the fucking name tag or the vest with us
Neither,
than
at the
to
end of
try
the
to
day,
deal with him afterwards.
at the end
Yeah.
of the day, neither of us are there. That's just
Yeah,
up to
no,
Mike.
you're
True,
right.
true.
You know,
But yeah, so you head out of the store. The rest of you guys are all at the suspicious van that's been sitting in the parking lot. That has been, by the way, blasting Limp Bizkit. Yeah, yeah, you get in the van, and like maybe it's in the middle of a conversation. Like Bickle at this point is actually upset and is like, "I told you to be subtle, subtle. Do you think that going rolling, rolling, rolling is subtle? Because what? It's a fucking bop, okay? What? You gonna fucking sue me for listening to music? Yes, you're listening to music too fucking loud, like sort of thing."
gentlemen, let's calm down here. Terminator, Wendell, he's right.
He's like, "What the fuck did you just call me?"
You left your name tag on your vest.
And like Bickle looks at him and goes, "Wendell?
Hmm,
It's a pretty
Interesting.
stupid name."
But to the point, yes, that was a bit loud and drawing attention. However, Bickle, it actually kind of was probably more low key than you think. This kind of, if he'd have been playing this music softly, people would have taken notice because this is not the kind of music you play softly. And and he does look the part. So nothing looks out of the ordinary other than the van's been sitting here for a couple hours, which most people aren't even going to notice.
Yeah. Bickle shrugs and is like, "Yeah, you're right." So, and like Mikey, you get into the van and he's like, "So, what'd you figure out?"
Okay, well, the top safe or the bottom safe, simple. Get into that, no problem. The other safe, on the other hand, is an A5 Titan. Those are not easy to get into without the access code, so we need to get that code. Oh wait, I do have it.
Question: why didn't you just open up the safe and get what we needed right then and there?
Because the flashback is taking place at night in front of Walton's Joker.
But
Well, because as discussed, we need to make sure that somebody gets framed up for this so somebody takes the consequences. It's all about being able to find somebody you can hold accountable. If they don't know who did it, they will keep looking until they find even the slightest, smallest crack or slip up that any one of us, including myself, could have made without realizing it. The longer they're on the case, the greater the chances we all get caught, and all of this is for nothing. If we leave them gift wrapped, somebody to blame, they're probably just gonna, in that case, they'll just take it out on them. And
Yeah.
end of
I can-
story.
I can think the cops might say that. However, our
Guys were being loud.
friend is probably not going to, well, going to be that easy on us. Now, is he? It looks like he had connections. I wonder what they were actually doing. I was hoping to get him off his whatever by accusing him of money laundering, but he didn't seem to take the bait.
I mean, that actually may be closer to truth. It's a highly unusual to have a deposit truck not show up for this many weeks in a row. That's no company is that lenient with their money. They would have found
Unless
something.
Of course.
But
what exactly are we hunting for? What papers are we looking for?
Says, I think Mikey might have seen the papers. You know the code to the safe, no?
Oh, I know what's in that safe.
He says,
We all get one. There's several rocks in there, and
He
we can
says-
all get a rock.
he says, "Unfortunately, nobody's getting rocks." However, everyone's getting paid. And he says, the part about the trucks coming or trucks not coming is still true. You can have anything out of the 100,000, split it however you want. It's slightly more, but whatever the case, aside from that, for loyalty pay, you'll get an upfront cost for the next job if you are still good and still ready. And on top of that, like I said, you will split the operational costs with yourselves as well. That is 150,000 plus whatever my employer says afterwards, for the pre-budget for the next job. All to you, just for stealing a few rocks.
How long can we reasonably assume that those diamonds will stay there?
I would say probably not long. He was on to us the way we were on to him. Probably doesn't know the exact game that was being played just yet, but he knows at least the three of us are involved. And he knows that he knows chances are good if this place has the criminal connections you accused and are probably closer to the truth on, then I would say that if he's got that, he'd probably be pretty damn dumb and not in the position he's in to have not realized there was some sort of scouting going on.
How long do
He
you
already
think they've been
contacted his
there?
employer. He already contacted his boss, so just so y'all know.
So we're gonna have to move our timetable up, and
How
we're
long
going
do
to
you
have to be
think that
very
they've been
careful
there?
about it.
What were you saying, Gunnar?
How long do you think they've been there?
What, these people?
No, the diamonds. Because
Eh.
the longer this is a place where they can store them safely without having to move them and risk them being found. This is a cool-off zone. So they're going to be here for a certain amount of time before they're moved. All that, the big difference is when were they here? When did they get here?
Problem with that is though, is if the whoever they're working for knows that that somebody came in and was scouting the place out, they'll probably move them faster rather than sooner, and we can expect them to have security. The going in during the day was probably about the riskiest proposition, but it was the only way to ensure that we were codes. Now that I think about it, it may actually be worth to hold off and move our timetable back. Let them sit on it watch the store for a couple of nights. They'll be expecting a move, and they'll be expecting a move fairly quickly. We watch. They'll either move the gem tonight, or they'll hold it there for a while, hoping to catch it, hoping to snare us. We want to catch them before it moves, but after they let their guard down.
And at this point, you actually hear Bickle. His phone starts vibrating, and he looks at it, holds up his finger, go on, and walks out of the van and closes the door.
All right.
Yeah. But he just was like, yeah, keep talking or whatever, and he walked out.
Yeah.
And you're so you said there's rocks in there? They shiny?
Easy there, Terminator. The goal isn't the goal is to get the rocks in the hands of our. That's how we get paid. The rocks aren't going to do you any good anyway if you don't know where to cash them in, and you start trying to cash them in the wrong place. Draw a lot of unnecessary attention. Trust me.
No. Hold up. Hear me out. I got a guy in Florida, right?
We're not going to take a trip to Florida.
My God.
He's
such an amateur. You're gonna burn every bridge you have in this city?
Listen, all I'm saying is that it's fucking easy to find someone to recut a stone. And
all I'm saying is that they're going to know who they hired to take those gems, and when we don't deliver them and they come up missing or recut or anything like that and we disappear, you think they're not going to come looking for us?
Yeah.
They
No, no,
found
no,
us all
no.
once, they'll find us again.
Well, we'll fucking grab some glass ones. And if they're high enough quality, they'll fucking look the same.
You're let's put a pin in that really quick here, and because I can see you don't know a whole lot about gems.
I've seen the movie. I've seen a few
Seeing a
movies.
movie doesn't qualify.
Yeah,
I
and
tell you what, why don't you let me do the thinking here and you just hang on? By the way, did you ever get your ice cream cone?
like, yeah, I got a strawberry bomb pop. It was pretty fucking good.
Nice
Choice.
choice. I would a good
Yeah.
chocolate, but each their own.
Yeah,
and then just keep moving.
yeah, and then as you're like continuing, he opens Bickle opens up the van door again, and says, "Terminator, drive, just anywhere, keep going. We have to debrief." And Terminator's like, "Whatever." Starts driving around, and Bickle's like, "So, problem and opportunity. Problem. My employer has heard through the grapevine that these people's employers know that something is up, and they think that they're going to move the rocks soon. Opportunity. Yeah. He's like, opportunity. The people that they're going to have moving them are coming tonight. And, as far as I know, are very amateur, new to the scene, and on top of that, easily paid off. Meaning, we go in as moving men and casually walk out."
I'm always partial to the idea of making people disappear and having their employers think they just skipped town, but this is easier, I suppose.
He says, but catch is, Fat Man knows who we are.
And that won't be a problem. And I hold up the camera with the video of him.
Hmm.
And
Say
this,
he knows who you guys are.
Hmm.
you're like, and I'm like, first of all, anybody here have hacking?
Nope.
That would be Mikey.
I mean, this shouldn't be too hard.
What we need to edit a video together that utilizing what I've got from footage from here to incriminate him in this whole scheme. How good at you are would you be at putting something together that makes it look like he's paying these people off to move this stuff? We need it to look suspicious, like he's the one trying to make the... You know what? This is all part of how we go. We need to get in there before they do. Steal the money out of the steal the money, the deposit money. Then when they go to move the diamonds, they go to move the diamonds. We keep what we want. We keep half of the cash. We swipe the diamonds and we plant the other half of the cash on the movers. Edit together a video to cast a little bit of doubt. Nothing too on the nose. Something that casts just enough doubt on our fat friend here, that combined with the money in the money that's in the possession of the supposed movers, makes it look like they have a perfect little ring. In essence, we want their employers to draw the conclusion that he paid these movers off to take the gems somewhere else, and they're planning on just splitting the profit and the diamonds.
Looks at you and says, Yeah, I see why the boss picked you.
It's a bit complicated, and it'll take a bit of timing, but well, Mikey, you already have the codes that we need to get in. Get in. You said it yourself. It shouldn't be hard to get in and out of that safe with cash. All we have to do is
Yeah.
get the cash, split it up, make sure we're using the correct codes getting in and out. When the movers come, we make sure that we hit them once we make sure that we follow them till they get a safe distance away. Hit them, take the gems, leave the money, and maybe leave them unconscious and smelling like alcohol somewhere. Easy to find. Perhaps in
I'm
front of a
good at
police
knocking.
station. Perhaps in front of a police station with shall we say, an anonymous phone call to the police
I can put some
about an
skag on him if
illegally
you want
parked
me to.
vehicle.
Yeah, I can put some skag on him if you want me to.
I'd love nothing more than to take care of them.
Definitely, we never. So the plan is we want to set it up to look like they were bumbling amateurs who got paid off and then got caught.
He says, oh, go ahead.
The cops take care of one, and then their employers take care of them later, and the fat guy gets taken care of much more immediately. Just have to leak the video.
Mikey,
You
do
need
you
to
want to...
forward that images to me, and then
Mhm.
I can work on it on my computer at home.
And you'll need to make sure that you implant whatever incriminating images on the security cameras on the CCTV before we leave, or the CCTV, perhaps a late night visit after we've done our deed and everybody's gone home thinking that the diamonds are secure. Make it, we need to plant all of the evidence that points back to our fat friend.
Pickle says, all well and good. We'll get us a cab about across the street. We walk the blocks until we get to a good intercept point. Nobody has cars. Only cars that we need are ones we rent afterwards.
Indeed, sounds good to me.
And this is where we flash back to present time.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey, you have created this video and you have uploaded it to the proper back channels. You guys have been dropped off, and you're walking down the street. And Terminator's bitching about the rain, as he was. He's like, I got my goddamn doppelganger over here wearing a fucking... Listen, island time? That's my time, not your time, buddy. I fucking cry.
I would offer you another ice cream cone, but it's raining. And I pull a candy bar out. Have a Snickers. You're not yourself.
What happened to this?
And just kind of like
He's like, he like snatches out of your hands like real fucking funny, wise guy. You know, it's fucking crazy what you can find with cabbies being okay with. And he's like, he has his shotgun to his side, and like Joker's got his bat, and like Bickle has like a real gnarly ass like fucking revolver, like a big fucker in his hand. And he's like, can't believe the cabbie just said, wow, you guys fucking cool? What a fucking NRA convention around here? Yeah, fucking...
I'm glad we decided to throw professionalism out the window now.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, fucking professionalism, smurshmeshalism. This is a fucking cakewalk. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to test here, Bickle.
You know, that's we're not throwing professional out of the window. We're just utilizing our talents and abilities in a more efficient manner to make certain that we complete the job, and so everybody thinks it's somebody else. Except for the people who paid us to do it.
Yeah, and you guys get there, and like you've noticed, fucking Bickle has just the sourest goddamn look on his face because just fucking Terminator will not stop fucking talking. And like you guys get to the spot, and Bickle's like, "All right, this is the ambush spot."
Mm.
Yeah.
Grips the silver bat tightly.
Yeah. Fucking, you guys wait for about 5 minutes. The van slowly creeps up and it stops at this stop sign, right? And remember that janky ass road I mentioned earlier? It's
Mhm.
got a weird jog that's almost like a semicircle that you have to go around because there's some public works like tree thing in the middle, like some piece of art / nature. And they're about to go. And Bickle's like, "Let's do it." And fucking like walks out of the bush with the revolver, pointing just dead at this dude's head, steady as a fucking anything, right? And is like, "Okay, you get out of the car," and like ushers for you guys.
Yep.
Sorry, gentlemen, we need to borrow your use. Can we tie these guys up, throw them in back? And, I tell you what, that sounds like a real good job for you, Terminator.
Terminator's like, "Fine, whatever. Eat fucking dirt, motherfucker," and like butts the dude in the head with his shotgun, and the dude goes down and starts convulsing because he hit his temple on the fucking ground.
I just
And Terminator like
Don't
steps back, is like,
kill him.
"Oh shit."
don't fucking kill him, you jackass.
Let me
Yeah.
take care of this, you idiot.
Yeah,
No finesse.
yeah.
Gets down,
Right.
probably, taps the guy on the side of the head. Is he having a stroke?
The dude is clearly convulsing from being hit in a really bad spot, and like you like maybe move his head a little bit and notice, oh, that's way more blood than it should be.
Yep, this one's dead. Congratulations.
And like
Well, now
Terminator's
we-
just standing there like,
Now we have to frame this guy for the murder of his friend as well as for stealing money from the mob.
Go around to the
Thank
other
you.
one. Go around to the other one. And... Alright, we're just gonna take a little nap here. And we're just gonna put him in a sleeper hold until he passes out. Because that's a lot
Totally do that.
safer.
yeah, you put him in a sleeper hold, he fucking passes out. He's freaking out because his friend is like dead, and you were just like, "Yep," and that one's dead. And Bickle has this look on his face. He gets in the back of the van and he pulls out the box. He says, "Mikey, hold on to this for me." And he gives you that. Pulls out a duffel bag full of cash. Says, "Con, keep a hold of this."
Yeah.
And he walks up to Terminator, who's just like, I didn't
Hey,
mean. And
snap out of it or I'm going to have to take your toy away. We have a
Bickle-
show to put on.
Bickle says, "One moment," and he kind of like gently presses you on the chest, like not like a "hey fuck you," more of a like "you might want to stand back" kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah. And Terminator's just like standing there frozen. And Bickle, without even thinking, pulls up his revolver and just blasts the dude's head off. Fucking Terminator drops like a sack of potatoes.
Hmm.
Bickle says, "It's cleaner this way. Plus,"
I agree. I like that shotgun. Picks it up.
yeah, he's like, "Keep it." And he just starts dragging his fucking body, sets it up against the car, and he says, "I need the other one. And prop the third one up next to me too."
Yeah. Do that.
Props him up, domes the dead one, domes the living one, and then says, "Anybody got a marker or something on them?"
Yeah, sure, why not?
I got a
Good.
pen. Does that count?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
takes
you
the
do have a
fucking.
pin.
You do have a pin.
Roll the
He
pin.
takes the pin. Maybe it's like a paint pen, you know. He fucking or like a Sharpie pen, and he writes on the side of the van that they're on, just like something in Ukrainian, and then he hands it back to you, and he says, "Motives accounted for, and crop weeded. Okay, gentlemen, we now have a lot of rocks and a lot of money. If you would mind handing me the rocks, Mikey, you can part with the money. I will be in contact with you very shortly. I would recommend walking away soon. I will be placing a phone call in 30 seconds."
Yeah, I'm.
Hand in the box, turn around, and walk away.
How much? Well, how much is the? How much money did we get out of the safe? Because I want to leave about 50% of it behind, so it looks like a fucking deal gone wrong.
Yeah, you got 100,000 from the safe.
So it'd
Roughly.
be 50
50 thou, yeah.
So 50 thou total. Can we get a inventory sheet here?
Yeah, let me do that for you. Handout.
Meanwhile, Joker's.
Maybe one for the group and one for me specifically.
Yep, I'll get everybody sheets.
Joker's probably leaning next to Terminator. You know, kid, your big mistake. Being at the right place to shine. And conveniently taking this stupid shotgun of yours and shooting out the spotlight.
Oh God.
Let's see.
Okay. Let's see. Cons. Notes. Okay. And yeah, so I think for that, we will call it for the night on a somewhat auspicious note. You got the job. Terminator didn't, but you guys got the job.
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
trying really hard to work with that guy and find something to do with him, but
I was going
Yeah.
to say the only thing that stopped Joker from just doming him earlier with the
Yeah.
with the bat is that he knew he had to play nice
Yeah.
because people told him he had to play nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and Bickle basically killed him because your name is known by the rest
Yep.
of your fucking crew. You're shit at your job. You're a
Yep.
loudmouth. You're a liability, and your vest is sitting in the fucking other place. Like, what do you want to do? You know, like, yeah. The second he heard Wendell, he was like, "No one's supposed to know that name but me." All right, sorry about that, Terminator.
you do realize that's why I dropped his name.
Oh yeah.
In front
Oh
of him.
hell yeah.
I think that was.
I think I'm gonna like this crew.
I
Okay.
knew exactly what was gonna happen to him. I was like, nope, we're gonna hands off this one. We're gonna go ahead and just throw the information out there and let it happen.
Mhm. So yeah, so we didn't get a huge amount into the characteristics generating. I think Gunnar was the only one who got to do a natural characteristics generation. But that is okay because I have another fun way to do it, and we're going to pair it with the other fun way that we do things. So, you know how you all have one, what is it called? Distinction?
Mm-hmm.
You all are actually getting a second distinction. And for those of you who do not have your other characteristics generated, everyone else is going to get to give you your negative characteristic. So, first things first. Hey, everybody. What do you think of Khan? What would be a distinction for Khan? This will be his second distinction. And everybody gets 3 distinctions. The third one is discovered later through play. Just add a
Remind
nat.
me your first one.
The
Huh?
first one that Khan has is always comes off like he's at least 2 steps ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
Well, you've shown remarkable patience with the rest of this crew today.
I agree.
there are probably several times where you could have easily said, "All right, I want you two off the group, out of the group." When it came
Yeah.
to, yeah, Joker pushed some buttons there, but it wasn't necessarily your buttons. It was more Terminator's buttons because they were there to be pushed.
And on
Right.
top of that, like, you proved yourself effective when told what to do. You had your plan, you recommended your plan. When it didn't go your way, you didn't go, "Ah, man." You went, okay.
Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gosh.
Scott, do you have any input on the second distinction for him?
Like, he rolled, like, he had that whole, this is how it's going to go and whatnot. And when it
Mhm.
go exactly that way, he rolled with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that's called.
Like being adaptable.
Yeah.
Ah,
Thinking
Yeah,
on your toes type thing.
flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flexible. Yeah, I like that. I think that we could probably pair this together pretty well into a distinction, something along the lines of "c'est la vie" or something like that. Because
Yeah.
you know how to deal with a situation when it's going tits up. You know how to deal with a situation when it's not going the way you planned, and you know how to deal with a situation when it's just plain annoying.
And most
So, like-
importantly, you know when to deal with the situation.
Rain off a duck's back, my friend. But yeah, okay. And now here's the other one. What do we think his negative characteristic, his negative role is? What is the role that he's probably not going to be filling on this team?
I'm sorry, I lost that. What did you say?
What is the role he's probably not going to be filling on this team?
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you have currently? You have Mastermind and Grifter?
Yeah, those are my two top.
I don't really see you as being a hacker.
Nah, well, I don't. Yeah, I would say that's probably fair.
Probably fair. Yeah. Okay. I would agree with
That
that
was
as
the
well.
same. That was the same one I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
It'd be as weak as would be the hacker thing.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to put a 4 in your hacker and all the rest of them are D6s,
Okay.
let's move on to Mikey. First of all, everyone think Mikey's second trait should be? Because what would we think Mikey? What do we think of Mikey?
Remind me your first distinction.
Hey, look, that's mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think
What do you call one of those faces? The people with the forgettable faces. It's great because they fit in pretty much anywhere, but nobody remembers them.
I can't remember the word. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He did that pretty well this time. He was able to just
Yeah.
basically walk into the back and then walk out, and nobody really paid any attention.
Yeah. No, that's
Well,
fair.
and
And go ahead.
I would say that what struck me is that he was very professional
Oh,
about the way he handled himself because he stayed on point. He didn't get bogged down in bickering with Terminator,
yeah.
and he didn't. He also kind of like didn't bother to deal with Terminator because that wasn't part of his part of the mission. So
Yeah.
I feel like he acted very professionally.
And
in the
one
situation.
one cool thing about traits is, or not traits, descriptors or whatever, fucking distinctions. We're learning the parlance of this goddamn system. But one cool thing about distinctions is that, like, even if they're an inherently positive one, if you use them to your negative, you generate power points, right?
Right.
And I think that, like, something like consummate professional would be really good because say you're in a job that requires you to get down and dirty and you're just like, no, that's not me. Like, I do not want to get in a fight in this biker bar, you know? Like, even though it is to the detriment of my friends that I am not joining this fight in this biker bar, that gets you fucking points, you know?
And on the inverse of my c'est la vie,
Mhm.
not giving a shit could be a negative when you need for me to dig deep and fucking stand the line.
Oh,
That
totally.
easygoing attitude of, well, I guess that didn't work out. Maybe
Yeah,
disadvantage at some point
exactly.
when you really need that willpower to stand.
Oh, there
And,
goes that cop. Well, he probably saw his face, but wasn't my face, so eh.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I guess we find a new partner.
Nice. So, do we want to go with something like consummate professional for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. So, if you want to mark that one down, and then what role do we think that Mikey is probably not going to be filling?
I don't see Mikey being a hitter necessarily.
No, I
No,
don't see that.
no, I
either.
don't see it either. All right. So, if you want to
I mean,
distribute that,
that also might be partially prejudiced because Scott doesn't typically play, frontliners anyway.
yeah. No, I got you. But I think it's pretty unanimous. The sneaky guy who hid in an office to watch a man open a safe and did
Yeah.
nothing to like be aggro about it. Yeah, I think that hitter is probably your 4. So if you want to mark hitter as 4, the other 2 are D6s. You are all set. And Joker, because you've already the things that are not your D4, your mastermind, are D6s. So we've got that taken care of. What do we think of Joker? What is his distinction here?
Um,
Because we've got what was your first one again?
Borderline psycho.
Yep. Okay.
I'm leaning on the whole drama acting thing in the middle of the floor. You know, it
I'd
just
say that his language too was always talking about creating a show of some sort.
Yeah.
So I feel like that works in there somewhat somehow, that sort of dramatis personality.
Yeah.
He did drop a hint that once upon a time, yes, he was a game show host.
Yeah.
that
To which
little-
Terminator said, "Okay, Bob Barker, go castrate yourself in the back."
Which is
But-
further kind of enhanced by his whole ringleader outfit, ringmaster
Right.
outfit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
So probably something on showmanship, maybe something like always a spotlight or something like that.
In the spotlight, maybe.
In the spotlight, yeah. Because I mean, Joker, if nothing else, has already proven he's big. You know, what I mean, like his personality is big. You know,
Yeah.
he'll eat up scenery if you give it to him, like as a
Yeah.
character.
Right.
You know, yeah. Okay. So for the rest of this stuff, leveling up and stuff, I need to read up more on. To be honest, I don't even know if you guys level up for the first heist or if that's just to generate characteristics and get everyone familiar. But we will have much more stuff to do next time, and the session will probably go much shorter because it's 2 a.m. right now, and we fit in both planning and a heist. I only meant to fit in a heist with no planning, but hey, you guys took it and ran with it, and I'm totally fine with that. That's how this game rolls. So I think that for tonight we will do our sign-offs. Let's start with Scott.
right. That's my name. Sorry. Scott, it's like, I played Mikey. Yeah, original idea was going to be Michelangelo,
Mm,
but Mikey's a little too outgoing, but so we made a few modifications.
yeah.
That's all right. We had fun. I'm always good at sneaking in and getting. I play a lot of those type of characters.
Hey, it's good. You're good at him.
Okay. What is today? Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. So we're bringing back the thing tomorrow night. We changed it to tomorrow. Bringing back the Ballad Menagerie thing tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yes. No.
I believe so. Jesta just ran off probably to use the restroom.
Well, if we do that tomorrow night, I'll be back playing chess. That'll be fun. And then every other Saturday at Bitter Ends, I play Castiel, little Healy angel that spent the last adventure pulling people out of the water, dead or alive. He didn't care. He just pulled people out of the water and then healed everybody. Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Monday, I'm on the Fire Strike as Xander, who is just waiting for the ship to come in so he can get on it, so he can go get the codes he needs, so that he can write the universe in his own image, maybe,
Mhm.
or whatever. I don't know. That's what Xander's going to do.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and Tuesday, I do not recall the name of this game, and I do not recall the name of my character, but it's a really cool game.
Harnmaster.
I think it's I think the show is like Olselberg or something like that.
Ah, that's a very Brian title.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's on Tuesday. I play some really hot chick that can talk really sweet and whatever. She's a firstborn. Whatever. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That was Tuesday. Okay, and then on Wednesday, I'm in Hinch to Minch's night. We had, I don't know. We didn't do it this week for some reason. I can't remember why. Somebody overslept, maybe. I don't know.
Computer overslept.
Yeah. But, hey, we're still trying to figure out how we can fix this little rolling blackout to completely stop so I can get my pants back, so I can have my snack cakes back.
You deserve pants and snack cakes.
I do. I miss them. Yeah. And I think that's everything.
All right. Let's roll on over to Jesta, and also I will be right back.
Hola, everybody. I am the Just King Zerat. You can catch me here on Monday nights for the Fire Strike, my favorite group of space terrorists, space pirates, and ne'er-do-wells. You can catch me here on Tuesday nights for Olselberg, I believe it is, the Harnmaster game that we're going to have going for a while. Hey, you know, I've always talked about playing or running a campaign where all the players were just a bunch of peasants. And guess what? That's what's going on. We're a couple of peasants. And actually, we're not even peasants. We're serfs. We're not even good enough to we're not even good enough to own the house and rent the land. We don't even own anything. We own fuck all. We rent everything, and we have no money. We're poor. We're broke. You can catch me here on Thursday nights for Fast Cars Clear Gyms, where I am playing Khan. And anybody who knows me and has a channel for a while knows that when I play characters, I tend to play characters. I'll play all across the board, but I tend towards characters that are involved themselves in the planning and leadership roles quite a bit. This character is very much that. It's very that. I'm not gonna lie. Khan is. There is a lot of me that is already being put into Khan, and to a certain extent. Plus, I really love the idea of like the mastermind criminal that just always knows more than everybody else. You can catch me here. Let's see. Well, I don't have an announcement on that yet because I don't have enough people to make that a go yet. But every other Saturday night, for the Bitter Ends, our Apocalypse World game, the Wave World sessions that we are in, there's a giant mutant squid that roams around the ocean. There's a tanker full of an aircraft carrier full of crazy people marauding. The Rocky Mountains are now the Rocky Road because they're now islands. And there's all sorts of weird shit. Should catch it on
There
that.
is vomit and piss certified.
There is. Indeed. But that won't be this Saturday, but the Saturday following, and every other Saturday, such as it is. You can also occasionally catch me on my own channel of Azarat, where I play video games and make sarcastic comments about them. And I have some new things I might play because I now have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I have not played it yet, but I'm excited. So you might see me doing a little bit of that coming up soon. I don't think there's anything else I have, so I'm gonna kick this one on down to somebody else. Everybody's to my left now, so To the left.
All right, Gunner.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cyrus Smith, or Gunner, and you just got me playing Joker, the psychopathic, borderline, whatever the hell he is. He's probably, oh, I don't necessarily want to say the biggest character I've ever played in terms of personality, although he's up there.
That goes to Bob.
Well, it helps because there's more of Bob. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of got a little bit of everything. He's an asshole, kind of like Acer and Twinkle, and actually, come to think of it, most of my other characters. I have not played a nice, happy-go-lucky character on this channel, have I? Actually, I did. And then it turned into Rain. Who is objectively, I think, still evil. James is nice enough to say that she's chaotic neutral, but I'm pretty sure she's still just evil. So yeah, yeah, this is a little bit branching out of my wheelhouse. I'm excited. He will eat up as much real estate as you will give him, like Mike said. And it kind of matches me. Not the killing part, but the being big, I guess.
Hell yeah.
I fill characters. Anyways, moving on. Today's Thursday. You can also catch me on Sunday running Tales from the Cosmos, except it's not Tales of the Cosmos it's time. It's a Cowboy Bebop, Welcome Back Cowboy. And yeah, our peoples, we don't call them bands of intrepid adventurers anymore, because apparently that's Critical Role, and we don't want to be like them. We want to be different. Anyways, but yeah, you can watch them as they they're going to get their first job here soon. And if you want to see what Cyberpunk Red Combat looks like, tune in. Catch me on
So
Monday.
I add 2, and then I minus 2, but then I add 3 because I'm akimbo, but then I minus 4 because I'm running.
No, it's not that bad. Cyberpunk Red is really trimmed 2020 down a lot.
Dang, I really like that stupid fucking math that you had to do for 2020, because it would just get so silly.
Basically, all it is, all right, now make a shoot roll, more or less.
Oh,
Great,
okay. Fair
you
enough.
hit. Now deal damage.
Nice.
Because there's, unless they try and dodge your shot, there's not even like a opposed roll. It's basically just, here's a table. Did you hit your range with the type of weapon you were using? Great.
So
Anyways.
that's probably better for the game overall, but I'm desperately going to miss just like stacking +2s, -2s for 3 hours.
There's a little bit of that, but only when our characters start using things like grenades. And I say that one of our characters has a grenade launcher. Anyways, you can also find me on Monday playing Twinkle Bailey, the isekai that really needs to learn to not be a jackass to people on his crew, because sticking together is the only thing that's going to get us through this hell nightmare. And he's really bad about not being nice to Ashni, and that needs to change, but he's kind of already set that way. Maybe something big and dramatic and life-altering will happen that will make him... what the hell am I saying?
Ghost of Twinkle Path.
You know, Twinkle, Gunner, I'm not entirely certain why what could be so life-changing. I don't know, maybe a a fight with a radiation demon, perhaps. I don't know.
Well,
he did do a shit ton of
Generally,
damage.
yeah, that generally does do something for the personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do a shit ton of damage.
He basically fist bumped everyone except for Ashni, though. So we'll have to figure. Maybe once he gets through this radiation poisoning or dies from it. I mean, he's got a 4 fortitude.
Yeah, but you have
so
a biohacker. You have a high-level biohacker who's going to give you nice, wonderful the pluses to your saving throws going forward. So
And then Kyra says, "That's very cute. Here, let me see what I can do to help." Not
man.
one.
I love rolling dice, Kyra says. Everyone screams no.
Anyways, find me on. Let's see. Next one will be Wednesday. Hopefully next. Excuse me, next Wednesday. It must be late. Where we're playing. Yeah, that game. Hench to Mensch, where I play Acer, telepathic sniper, who's trying to set up her new version of Anvil, the super secret villain society, except this time it's a board instead of one person, which means all right, today's super secret evil agenda meeting, please note paragraph 3 subsection 4, our acronym is evil, every villain is lemons. Hold on. No, sorry. Every villain is lethal. Sorry, computer changed that. So, yeah, but tune in for that. It'll be fun, I promise. That'll be it.
All right, and that brings it to me. Hello, everybody. My name is Mike, also known as Win 5 Get 1 Free, and you've caught me here running the leverage system with fast cars, clear gyms. I almost said fast gyms, clear cars, which would be a different system or a different game, but I'd like it all the same. As you can see, we're a little rough around the edges, but we're having a good time with it. I think everything went relatively smooth, and part of that is because this game is heavy on roleplay, and we have 3 fan-fucking-tastic role players, and I just want to give them a hand for taking on a new system and doing a really fucking good job with it. So you can also catch me on Saturdays, every other Saturday, in the Bitter Ends, the Apocalypse World campaign, the Wet and Wild edition, where I play Greasy of KRUST 6.66. The crust, the hottest shit that floated to the top of the bathtub, who is probably the coolest guy in the wasteland. He's already vomited on some chick's toes and then pissed himself. So,
how did you survive?
Oh, he barely does. He didn't pay his upkeep for 2 sessions straight. So the narrative excuse was that he's only been drinking high-proof tiki drinks for 2 sessions straight, tried to give an inspiring speech, and then instead vomited on someone's feet. Also, he tased a kraken and while he was in the ocean, and it tased him too, and he lost his bladder control because he was being tased. So, you know. But Gloomy's okay, and that's the important part, is Gloomy's okay. So you can also catch me on Mondays, where I am in Firestrike as 2 characters. I am Matthias Merch Dishborg, the radish man who loves to tear people apart and do very bad drugs to the community. And as Paralictor Burn Ward, he doesn't really do much until it comes to combat, and then he murders the absolute shit out of everything. That's kind of his job. He's pretty good at it. He got to shit talk some demons in their own language because demons are just crusty devils who don't have manners. I have less respect for devils than I do for demons. You respect a demon like a firearm. You respect a devil like a firearm. You respect a demon like a black cat. You know, it'll blow your hand up. Anyway, you can also catch me. That's it, actually. If you are currently watching on Twitch, thank you so much for sticking around. We love it when you stay for the credits and hang out. We get to do little updates for us. But you can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/Paradise Theater. If you are currently watching on YouTube, we love you. Thank you so much for watching our content after it's been streamed. It means a lot because sometimes we get watches, sometimes we get rewatches. It's pretty fucking sick. And one day we might make a little money from this. It'd be really cool. If nothing else, that would help us get some merch going or expand shows, get art done, commission music. Be pretty sick. But whatever the case, if you like scheduling and you also like community interaction and you also like hot memes, You can catch us on Twitter at Pear Theater. I am Mike. I'm soon going to be having some music coming out under the income adjusted payments after Valentine's Day. Very excited about it. And I've got a new EP in the works. I believe it is under the working title of Filing Cabinets. Very excited about that as well. Yeah, that's me. And I think that we should sign off here with a good old-fashioned R.I.P. Terminator.
R.I.P. Terminator.
Terminator.